FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the position of the management and staff of Guardian Network.
Good morning. LNG pipeline report raising concerns over wetland protection. A new report suggesting crimes $100 million, taking a $100 million hit to the GDP. The IDB says the Bahamas is fourth highest in the region in cost of impact of homicides. And in business, the Chamber of Commerce says Amazon's free shipping an imminent threat. It's all straight ahead this morning. I'm Dwight Strachan, and this is Morning Blend.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start of a new way. Don't you know that it's the start of the end of the old way. Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Good morning again, Bahamas. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Again, I'm Dwight Strachan. In a moment, Duquesne Dean will be joining us. And we've got a business news roundup for you in Morning Blend Business, along with that Amazon story. That's all ahead, but first it's time for the overnight, the latest breaking news from while we're sleeping, and the top national and international headlines this morning.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start of a new way.
In the overnight, a new report suggesting that protected native vegetation and a wetland would be impacted by the construction of a proposed 13.5-mile LNG pipeline. This project is for New Providence. According to the report prepared by JSS Consulting, dated August 6th of this year, animals that live at or near the site throughout the year would be impacted by the development. The Davis administration has plans for the construction of an LNG plant at the Blue Hills Power Station. The site for the proposed project is located between BPL Clifton and BPL's Blue Hills Power Plant. JSS Consultancy's report noted that the site is not located in a protected area, but that it is north of the Primeval Forest National Park and south of the Harold and Wilson Pond National Park, both of which are managed by the Bahamas National Trust. So the report says that native vegetation, inclusive of protected botanical species, will be impacted by this development due to clearing that is needed for the establishment of the pipeline's infrastructure. It says the inland freshwater wetland and pond will be impacted by this development due to the clearing that's needed, and all fauna recorded and any other species that may utilize the site currently or during other times of the year will be impacted by the development. 18 protected plant species were observed at the proposed project site, 17 of which are listed in the Forestry Act Declaration of Protected Trees Order 2021, and one is classified as endangered. A police constable remanded to prison on a rape charge. When he appeared before Chief Magistrate Roberto Reckley, Julian Smith was not required to enter a plea to allegations that he raped an 18-year-old woman on October 28th. At the time of the alleged offense, Smith was stationed at the Tourism Police Unit. However, Smith has been suspended from duty and placed on half pay pending the outcome of the case. The matter has been adjourned to April 10th of next year for the presentation of a voluntary bill of indictment. The police force has been dogged by allegations of sexual assault in recent times. 3 police constables were charged with the rape of an 18-year-old, and a 4th constable was accused of abetting the rapes. Additionally, a police superintendent was accused of raping a 25-year-old woman while on duty. A 34-year-old man charged with the attempted murder of his ex-girlfriend. 34-year-old Leslie Ferguson accused of stabbing Shanithria Armbrister at Bahamas on November 4th. He was not required to enter a plea to the charge when he appeared before Magistrate Raquel Wims. The matter has been adjourned to March 31st for the presentation of a voluntary bill of indictment. And police have charged a second man with planning the murder of Eddie Miller on September 5th. Miller was shot and killed in front of his wife and children after he got out of a store on Cowpen Road here in New Providence. Garon Fox appeared before Chief Magistrate Roberto Reckley on Monday on a charge of conspiracy to commit murder. Fox is accused of conspiring to commit the murder with his cousin Mitchell Fox, who was last week arraigned on charges of conspiracy to commit murder and murder. Both men are expected to return to court on April 10th for the presentation of the voluntary bill of indictment. Well, the Bahamas has the 4th highest impact on its GDP from homicides in the Latin American and Caribbean region. That's according to a recent study by the Inter-American Development Bank. The study, which is based on data from 2022, found that homicides cost the country nearly 0.8% of its GDP. The Bahamas National Statistical Institute, the BNSI, reported real GDP at $12.5 billion in 2022. That means a homicide cost of $100 million. So far this year, the Bahamas has recorded 105 murders. In 2023, 110 were recorded, a decrease from 2022 when there were 128. Only Jamaica, Trinidad and Tobago, and Honduras recorded higher figures of cost of GDP in the IDB study. That study, titled The Costs of Crime and Violence, Expansion and Update of Estimates for Latin America and the Caribbean. The IDB says that countries in Africa, the region that follows in terms of the cost per homicide, recorded an average cost equivalent of 0.17% of GDP. Overseas, Haiti's international airport shut down Monday after gangs opened fire at a commercial flight landing at Port-au-Prince, prompting some airlines to temporarily suspend operations as the country swore in a new interim prime minister who promised to restore peace. The Spirit Airlines flight headed from Fort Lauderdale, Florida to Port-au-Prince was just hundreds of feet from landing in Haiti's capital when gangs shot at the plane, striking a flight attendant who suffered minor injuries, according to the airline and the U.S. Embassy and flight tracking data. The flight was diverted and landed in the Dominican Republic. Photos and videos obtained by the Associated Press show bullet holes dotting the interior of the plane. The shooting appeared to be part of what the U.S. Embassy called gang-led efforts to block travel to and from Port-au-Prince, which may include armed violence and disruptions to roads, ports, and airports. Spirit, JetBlue, and American Airlines saying that they were canceling flights to and from Haiti. In other parts of the country's capital, firefights between gangs and police broke out. Rounds of gunfire echoed through the streets as heavily armed officers ducked behind walls and civilians ran in terror. In other upper-class areas, gangs set fire to homes. Schools closed as panic spread in a number of areas. The turmoil coming a day after a council meant to reestablish democratic order in the Caribbean nation fired the interim Prime Minister Gary Conille, replacing him with businessman Alex Didier Fiamé. The council has been marked by infighting, and 3 members were recently accused of corruption. As he was sworn in, Fiamé is saying that his top priorities were to restore peace to the crisis-stricken nation and hold elections, which haven't been held in Haiti since 2016. Authorities in the Ivory Coast saying Monday that 21 people were killed and at least 10 others injured in a road accident. The accident Sunday night took place on a stretch of road linking the southwestern city of Subre and the south-central town of Gagnoa, according to the Ministry of Transport. The statement adding that the investigation has been launched. Earlier this year, a tanker truck crashed into a bus in northern Ivory Coast, leaving 13 people dead and injuring 44. Accidents are common in the West African country due to debilitated roads and reckless driving, killing over 1,000 people annually. Last year, authorities introduced a point-based driver's license, granting each driver a total of 12 points that can be taken away depending on the violation. Cameras were also set up on the country's main roads to fine offenders. And Israel has failed to meet U.S. demands to allow greater humanitarian access to the Gaza Strip, where conditions are worse than at any point in the 13-month-old war. The Biden administration of the U.S. last month called on Israel to surge more food and other emergency aid into the Palestinian territory, giving it a 30-day deadline that expires today. The administration warned that failure to comply could trigger U.S. laws requiring it to scale back military support as Israel wages offensives against Hamas in Gaza and Hezbollah in Lebanon. Israel has announced a series of steps toward improving the situation, but U.S. officials recently signaled that Israel is still not doing enough, though they haven't said if they will take any action. Israel's new foreign minister appeared to downplay the deadline, telling reporters Monday that he was confident the issue would be solved. The Biden administration may have less leverage after the re-election of Donald Trump, though, who was a staunch supporter of Israel in his first term. And a driver killed 35 people and severely injured another 43 when he deliberately rammed his car into people exercising at a sports center in southern China. Police had detained a 62-year-old man at the sports center in the southern Chinese city of Zhuhai following the ramming late Monday on the eve of the country's premier aviation exhibition by the People's Liberation Army that's hosted annually in the city. Police identified the man only by his family name of Fan, consistent with the practice by Chinese authorities. Fan was discovered in the car with a knife with wounds to his neck, thought to be self-harm injuries. He's unconscious and receiving medical care. Apparently, he was dissatisfied with the split of financial assets and his divorce, according to a preliminary investigation. In sports, two Bahamian judokas standing at the medal podium at the Quebec Open in Montreal. Cara Hanna, competing in the 78-kilogram category, showcased her prowess by winning all her matches. Meanwhile, Xavion Johnson secured a bronze medal in the 66-kilogram category. The two-day event brought together judo competitors from across Canada and around the world, marking the start of Judo Circuit Cycle, as athletes seek experience and glimpse of international competition. More on how the Bahamians did in today's Guardian Sports section. University of the Bahamas holding its homecoming basketball game over the weekend at Sir Kendall Isaacs Gym. The game saw the UB Mingos face off against the NASA Flight Services Ballers. The Ballers triumphed, though, over the Mingos with the final score of 81-78, spoiling the homecoming celebrations for the Mingos. And from Monday Night NFL action, Tyreek Hill making a touchdown catch as the Miami Dolphins snap their three-game losing streak and hold off the LA Rams 23-15. Dolphins now 3-6 for the season. For Major League Baseball, Los Angeles Dodgers star Shohei Ohtani is a finalist for his first National League MVP award after winning the American League honor twice. Joined among the top 3 in NL voting by New York Mets shortstop Francisco Lindor and Arizona second baseman Ketel Marte. New York Yankees outfielder Aaron Judge is the finalist for his second American League MVP in 3 seasons, joined by Kansas City shortstop Bobby Witt Jr. and Yankees outfielder Juan Soto. Ohtani was unanimously voted the AL MVP in 2021 and 2023 as a two-way star for the Los Angeles Angels and finished second to Judge in 2022 voting. He didn't pitch in 2024 following elbow surgery and signed a record $700 million 10-year contract with the Dodgers. Ohtani would join Frank Robinson for Cincinnati in 1961 and Baltimore in 1966 as the only players to win the MVP award in both leagues. That's sports, and that's the overnight. Time for your first look at weather. In your weather for today, we've got a relatively weak cold front across the northern regions. That's going to be nudged southwards by a strong high-pressure system building across the western United States throughout the day today. So humid conditions and light breezes will gradually give way to locally fresh breezes and a few quick-moving showers as the front enters the southern Bahamas by late tonight. So the front, combined with a developing tropical system in the Caribbean Sea, will bring fresh to strong easterly breezes across the Bahamas as high pressure builds behind, beginning early Wednesday morning. The front will exit the southeast Bahamas by Wednesday evening, and winds will weaken slightly by Thursday evening ahead of a reinforcing cold front moving off the U.S. eastern seaboard by Friday morning. That frontal boundary will briefly usher in seasonably cooler temperatures as it moves through the northern Bahamas by Friday evening and moves out of the country by early Sunday. A dry air mass along with a domineering high-pressure system will keep mostly quiet and cool conditions in place across all areas for the remainder of this period. So there are there's a gale warning, near gale warning, and a gale watch will come into effect by tomorrow morning. Boaters, especially small craft, are urged to seek and remain in safe harbor by 6 p.m. this evening. Motorists, pedestrians, and other road users are advised that there is a marginal risk of mist and fog developing during the early morning hours over some parts of the northern, northwest, and central Bahamas, and should take precautions while moving about before sunrise. There also remains a high risk of rip currents along Atlantic beaches, and swimmers are urged to avoid entering the waters in these areas. So for today, your forecast for the northern Bahamas, mostly sunny today, turning mostly fair tonight, only about a 10% chance of showers for you. Here in the North Bahamas, we're looking at partly cloudy conditions with occasionally cloudy periods at first, becoming partly sunny by this afternoon. Expect mostly fair conditions by tonight. We've got a 20 to 40% chance of showers this morning, dropping to a 10 to 30% chance by this afternoon. For the central Bahamas, partly sunny with cloudy conditions near the front as it moves through, becoming mostly fair with a few cloudy intervals tonight. You're looking at a 30 to 50% chance of showers this afternoon as that front moves through. And for the southeast Bahamas, a mix of sun and clouds today, turning partly cloudy tonight, a 20 to 40% chance of showers with offshore thunderstorms. Temperature-wise today, look for highs in the mid-80s, around 85 Fahrenheit, about 29 Celsius. We're looking at overnight lows tonight getting down to about 77 Fahrenheit, 25 Celsius. We'll have more in an extended outlook and a look at the Caribbean and the tropics in our next weather check. You're listening to Morning Blend. When we come back, we're discussing the day's top stories right here on your home for fresh news and smart talk all day. Guardian Radio 96.9.
of the old way. Wake up, it's a new day.
Tired of banks forcing you to use technology to bank the way they want you to? Your convenience is important. So no matter what your banking needs, Commonwealth Bank's friendly staff are always available in branch for that personal one-on-one service. But when you choose technology, our online and mobile banking app offers you state-of-the-art functionality. The choice is yours. Commonwealth Bank. Bank the way you want.
Looking to elevate your gadget game, or are tech troubles simply slowing you down? Escape to a world of innovation at Custom Computers, your go-to store for the latest cutting-edge tech. Whether you need to upgrade your life with the best from Apple and Windows, or your device needs a little TLC, the Custom Computers Know-How Store is the destination for unbeatable expertise and quality repairs. With 2 convenient locations, there's a Custom Computers near you on Patton Street in Palmdale and Caves Village, or call 396-1100.
This holiday season, give the gift that lasts a lifetime. Financial freedom with CFAL. Whether you're looking to take the stress out of holiday giving or plan for the future, CFAL has you covered. With our suite of savings products, you can start with a minimal upfront investment and low monthly contributions. Get a jump start with 2025 financial goals with CFAL Savings Express, or give the little ones a head start with the CFAL Education Plan. You can also secure your own future with the CFAL Blue Marlin Retirement Plan. This holiday season, make your gift count with CFAL, where small savings lead to brighter futures. Visit cfal.com today to start building wealth so you can live well. Happy holidays from all of us at CFAL.
What's that one gift you've longed for?
My own home.
Build or buy your home with financing from CIBC Caribbean, and we'll gift you up to US $3,000 towards your legal fees. No loan application fee and up to 95% financing. And if you switch your mortgage to us, take the gift of no switching costs up to US $10,000. Plus, we're giving more with double the chance to win one of 3 cash prizes in your country. Visit CIBCFCIB.com/joyofgiving for more information. Terms and conditions apply.
Do you have uncontrollable debt? Are you ready to make that move to Fidelity for a stress-free future? These loans have a built-in savings plan that pays you unbeatable interest. Ask about our debt consolidation loans today. Call 356-7764.
Fidelity, we're good for you.
Around the world, Cleveland Clinic is recognized as a leader in healthcare. Our team of experts relentlessly pursues the best for our patients. From groundbreaking cancer research to state-of-the-art heart surgery, life-saving innovations happen here every day. When it's time to travel for your health, it's time to travel to Cleveland Clinic. Your destination for care, for every care in the world. To learn more, visit clevelandclinic.org/Caribbean.
It's easy to go the extra mile when you fill up with Esso Synergy Supreme Plus fuel. It keeps your engine clean and running smoothly, which helps to make every fill-up last longer. Choose Esso Synergy Supreme Plus fuel today for better gas mileage and better performance. The Esso brand is a trademark of ExxonMobil Corporation and is used under license. Benefits are based on Synergy branded gasoline compared to gasoline meeting minimum government detergency standards. Actual benefits may vary based on factors such as vehicle type, driving style, and gasoline previously used.
What gift gives you joy?
An investment in land. That's joy to my future.
Finance your land with CIBC Caribbean and we'll gift you up to US $500 towards valuation fees, no loan application fee, and up to 15 years to repay. Plus, we'll also give you the chance to win one of 3 cash prizes in your country from our regional pot of over US $100,000. Visit CIBCFCIB.com/joyofgiving for more information. Terms and conditions apply.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start of a new way. Don't you know that it's the start of the end of the old way?
Welcome back to Morning Blend here on Guardian Radio 96.9. Duquesne and I getting heated, having a hot conversation off here. Missing RQ. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. You're streaming us live on GuardianTalkRadio.com, video and audio, and on the Guardian Radio app for smart devices. We're also on your televisions on Cable Bahamas Channel 969 and BTC Flow Channel 612. You can tweet us at Morning Blend 969 or Facebook.com/Morning Blend 969. Text us on the Guardian Radio text line, powered by BTC 422-4796. Standard text rate supply. Once again, I'm Dwight Strachan, and Duquesne Dean is with us. Good morning.
Good morning. Happy Tuesday.
Great to see you, as always.
Good to be here.
We're having a heated discussion about something we're going to be talking about a little bit more in business. Amazon and the free shipping on a few items. Not everything, but people are excited, and some are very worried. The worried ones are the business owners. Not all, though. Yeah. Not all. But some are concerned. But how should consumers feel? They're not hearing much about that.
Right.
It might be a great thing for consumers, but does anybody care about consumers in this country? It's all about business, it seems, most of the time. But anyway, we'll get into that in our 9 o'clock hour.
That's going to be juicy.
Oh, my goodness. and there's a lot to talk about in business in our 9 o'clock hour. That's all ahead. But right now, let's talk about what else is in the news. And in the news, just a reminder that the NASA Guardian celebrating 180 years this month. Anniversary is on November 23rd, and then all month long, all kinds of exciting things going on. The Vision Quest, the Vision Challenge, spot the logo, pick up NASA Guardian and look for that logo somewhere. And if you find it, clip it out, put your name on the clipping, and drop it off at our box here at the NASA Guardian. You could win some money by Friday. Friday's the draw. And every Friday this month, that's happening. And also, we're doing a blast from the past every day. Today, looking at a big story from 1940 when the king became the governor. King Edward VIII, who abdicated the throne, becoming the Duke of Windsor, assigned to be governor of the Bahamas. It was big news. A lot of people got excited about it, and the NASA Guardian covered when the Duke and Duchess landed, and all throughout that year, in the midst of covering World War II, lots of the goings on with the Duke and the Duchess.
So it's a lot of history being shared.
A blast from the past in today and every day this week. All right, so let's talk about what's in the news. Big headline in the NASA Guardian: crimes $100 million hit to GDP. Our Rachel Scott writing about it. The Bahamas has the fourth highest impact on its GDP from homicides in the Latin America and Caribbean region, according to a recent study by the Inter-American Development Bank, the IDB. The study, which is based on data from 2022, found that homicides cost the country nearly 0.8% of its GDP. The BNSI, the Bahamas National Statistical Institute, reported real GDP at $12.5 billion in 2022. That means a homicide cost of $100 million. Wow. This is okay. So far this year, the Bahamas has recorded 105 murders. In 2023, it was 110, a decrease from 2022 when there were 128. But that's still 32 per 100,000 people. That is a heck of a lot, and much higher than a country this size should be. Much, much, much higher. Yeah. Only Jamaica, Trinidad and Tobago, and Honduras, all of which have millions of people, recorded higher figures of cost to GDP in the IDB study titled The Cost of Crime and Violence, Expansion and Update of Estimates for Latin America and the Caribbean. So the study says that, quote, the cost of homicides in Latin America and the Caribbean for 2022, estimated at 0.44% of GDP, is more than twice the cost recorded in other regions of the world. Countries in Africa. The region that follows in terms of the cost per homicide recorded an average cost of 0.17% per GDP. Wow. It also says that countries in Oceania, Asia, and Europe recorded on average the lowest costs associated with homicides globally, with levels below 0.06% of GDP. The IDB report, which examines the cost of crime and violence in Latin America and the Caribbean, noted that social and economic development in Latin America and the Caribbean is heavily burdened by crime and violence. I think we need to read that again. The social and economic development in Latin America and the Caribbean, heavily burdened by crime and violence. It says crime and violence in Latin America and the Caribbean limit development, significantly affecting people's lives, economic opportunities, and government action. The report found that the direct costs of crime and violence represented 3.44% of the GDP of Latin American and Caribbean countries. This figure is equivalent to 78% of the education budget and twice the public spending on social assistance in the countries of the region.
Read that again.
Yeah, I need to read that maybe 3 times. This figure is equivalent to 78% of the education budget and twice the public spending on social assistance in the countries of the region. We keep saying that we need to increase education to combat this stuff, but we're spending so much to deal with these issues that we are really hamstrung.
Mm-hmm.
The study calculates the direct cost of crime in 3 areas: the loss of human capital, costs of productive time lost as a result of non-lethal crimes, homicides and incarcerations, and spending on crime mitigation by businesses, and public spending on crime prevention and criminal justice.
For sure.
According to the IDP's study, security spending by private businesses made up 47% of the total cost of crime in the region. Ah, boy. Government spending on crime prevention accounted for 31% of the cost, and the loss of human capital represented 22% of the cost. The study noted that indirect costs of crime, like reduced investment, lower business productivity, and increased emigration, are harder to quantify, but also have a significant impact on countries' development and economic growth. Yeah. Wow. It says, in summary, the evidence shows that beyond the direct costs, mostly static, that can be quantified with relative precision, there are other types of impacts of crime and violence which slow down the pace of medium and long-term economic growth and affect economic and social development. Although the literature does not provide concrete estimates on the monetary value of these impacts, their probable impact on social well-being eclipses, in many cases, that of the direct costs, even when only the already known impacts are considered. However, the literature suggests, or review also suggests or reflects, that important knowledge gaps persist, particularly regarding the impact of organized crime in different contexts and vulnerable populations, whose effects could be even deeper than those documented. Wow. So the IDB's policy recommendations for the region to address crime and violence include strengthening public institutions to improve spending efficiency, focusing on evidence-based interventions, strengthening justice, and investing in education and social services to address the root causes of crime. It also noted that improved data collection and research is required to better understand crime and violence. Oh, my. Well, this can be long. Essentially. Oh, boy. Okay, so I don't think anybody's going to be really surprised by this, right? It's just interesting to see some of the numbers there. But, yeah, what we need to invest in things, but the money's being used to fight crime. And so,
Is it?
Well, at least on the surface.
On the surface.
But people are spending whatever they have for security and
lots of people
and other things.
Personal security systems and alarms and all that sort of stuff.
Let's talk about it, folks. Let's hear from you on this. Give us a call, 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259, Call us toll free, 242-300-5720. Tweet us, Facebook us, text us, 422-4796. Standard text rates apply.
So I have a question. And this article is taking me down a little bit of a tunnel because I'm wondering, do you think that people engage in criminal activities because they want to eat?
Yeah, some people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for survival, absolutely.
Right.
Yeah. So, yeah, people say that all the time. People know that. That is the case for some people. There's some people doing it for kicks, and there's some people doing it because they are struggling. They're starving. They don't have things they want and need. It's everything. Everything's happening. For some, this is all they've known, and for others, they probably have regrets, but can't think of another way.
Yeah. That's a hard position.
It's very sad.
It's a hard position to be in.
So what do you do here? You can't really blame the government entirely.
Fully, right, not fully.
The public can be blamed, but not entirely.
Right.
It's everything.
Yeah.
And
then, like, the things that need to be done and even the words that need to be shared are taken personally. When you try to help people to understand that, yes, the government has a responsibility, but we also have a personal responsibility as well. I think it would be great to see an expansion of the social services budget on the one end so that more people can have access to, support for a period of time as they get back on their feet, particularly with the cost of grocery and rent. But also it would be great to see every individual who is in a difficult situation making different decisions, not making the same decision that gives them the same result. And so taking a look at what we can do individually to just to make better decisions that don't put us in these dire situations.
Yeah. Again, I just want to read these IDB policy recommendations, right, for the region. Strengthening public institutions to improve spending efficiency. Okay, well, that should happen whether you're dealing with crime or not, right? Focus on evidence-based interventions. Strengthening justice and investing in education and social services. Yeah, but people have been saying that for a long time. We know we have a big problem with the perception of justice, whether that is happening, being meted out, and we know we have gaps in the education and social services, absolutely. But I keep saying it. I mean, let's start in the short term, cracking down on the small stuff.
The small stuff.
Really need to send a message that this is not going to be a place where you get to do any old foolishness you want to do.
Correct.
That there are rules and we have to obey them, all of us, everybody.
Correct. And we know how to obey them. We do.
Some people.
We know how to obey them.
Some people, I think.
Some people just wait for the enforcement of the rules.
Yes.
But we do know how to obey. So that again is a choice. That again is a choice.
Yeah. Oh, boy. Everyone's noticing the cameras are going up. You see them everywhere.
I started to see them.
Is this going to be part of that? Are they for, Wayne Monroe said it on the show, that it's going to be widespread and it's going to be a lot of stuff, and not just the big things. We will see.
Yeah.
We will see. Caller, good morning. You're on the air.
Good morning, Dwight. That's me, Papa.
Hi, good morning.
Hello?
Yes, you're on the air.
Good morning, Miss Dean Bean.
Good morning.
Dwight, I want to ask you something about the Amazon thing which you mentioned. You said you want us to call in and give our view about it?
Yeah, a little bit later in the show, though.
Oh, man. I don't know. I hope I get a chance to call back on that. But Dwight, you I don't know if you read it in the Guardian or what, but since Donald Trump went, we had two gentlemen who I think wanted to be prime minister in the country, had a lot to say, and I don't know if you touch it yet. So Franklin Wilson, he said something. Well, it sounded like he was shooting across the bow, shooting at the persons who sell the electric cars, telling them, how Trump feel about carbon crediting and them making money off the electric cars. And Fred Mitchell, I think he was kind of insulting. But I can see if I could get a chance because I said to ship our things free. Who we hurting over here? Who business people we hurting? I want to know if that's a good thing for us, if we should be glad for it or don't support it. I'll hang up and listen. Thanks.
Okay, I hope we call back on that. The Bahamas, the gas here is 5 something. It's not 5 something in the U.S.
No.
So what makes sense here
Right.
won't necessarily make sense over there. And so if you're watching what they do to make your decisions, you're going to get yourself broke. You're going to be bankrupt. Why? And that's a much bigger country, and people there, this is talking about the electric vehicles, have lots of range concerns, right? You got a long way to go, and you don't know if you're going to be able to charge. You don't have that here, especially in New Providence. My God, maybe some of the Family Islands, maybe, but you could get away with charging maybe once a week. So don't be fooled into thinking that what works over there is going to work for you. You got to look at the realities in this place.
And see the differences.
So, and Elon Musk is his biggest cheerleader. So somebody's going to change their view on things. I don't know which one. Will it be the new president or Elon Musk? But somebody's going to move into the center. You'll see. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Hi, good morning, Dwight. How are you?
Doing well. Good morning.
I think we don't realize the impact of what so-called crime. First of all, I don't think this study is accurate. It cannot be measured how much money we're spending on crime. But it's the little things. I think.
Well, no, it's saying losing, basically. Losing.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, so basically, it's not just like direct crime, like domestic violence and robberies and stuff. It's white-collar crime as well. I read something in The Guardian yesterday, over 100 complaints from Bahamian contractors. And it's a frustration that the public has where we cannot rely on services which we are spending our hard-earned money on. And not even the service. I went to a car lot the other day to buy an electric vehicle, and the price is doubled that of that in the States. I could bring it over for 50% less, and that just goes all across the board. All of these merchants and these businesses are gouging our eyes out with these prices.
Double even after the duty and the shipping and all that stuff?
Yes, and it's the base model. I don't understand what the point they're trying to prove. So I think everyone is trying to freeze us in the class that we're in, because at this point, everywhere you go, it's almost ridiculous. We grew up in this town, and the rate of inflation does not have to reflect that of a developed nation, and we are nothing close to that. And I'll leave you with this. There's a frustration going on, and we say it's a mental health issue with Bahamians. But I think we're mentally challenged because this has gone so far where we are now complaining and bringing out studies that a middle-class family has to earn $10,000 or more a month. In the U.S., that is almost unheard of. The spectrum of that is, and the middle class is half of that. So what does that tell you about our nation, where our infrastructure is crumbling, where our politicians don't answer our calls, and where the education system has failed us, as we can see in these government agencies, where the incompetence also adds to the loss of money because of time, that we cannot get our businesses up, our grants going. And it just goes on and on, right? Dwight, I love my country, but these stats don't apply to us. And also, Cuba, one of the most poorest countries in the world, has the lowest crime rate in the Caribbean. They're poor and they're happy. What is going on with us?
Well,
why can't we be
again? You got to look at that closer, right? You can't speak like this in Cuba. So there's all kinds, and I'm sure their numbers are. I don't know.
It's relative to the population.
Well, again, we don't know if you're getting the right numbers, but okay. So you mentioned that study, and we're gonna have you be on soon to talk about this. But I think people are misquoting the study, and I don't know. Do you really think the number would be very different for the U.S.?
Oh, absolutely,
Yeah?
Dwight. Just looking at, so there are.
Well, before you go on. So the study isn't what you need to be, right? Middle class. It's if you want to live the lifestyle that middle class people think is what a middle class person should be doing, right? So because you don't have to go to private school, but if you choose to go to private school, this is how much you're going to need to do this and do that and do that, and blah blah blah, right? Yeah. So it's a little bit different than saying that's what a middle class family needs.
So the definition of middle class to me is if you have something, if you have a car, if you have a home, if you have your child in private school, you have enough money that if something happens, you could replace that. So if you have an emergency, if a hurricane comes and blow your roof off,
that might be rich. That might be rich. I don't know if that's middle class.
Middle class then.
I don't think it'll be that easy. If something happened, I think you'd be in big trouble. That's the middle class today and always was, I believe. But you can afford it as long as there are no shocks.
Right.
That's,
as long as no disturbance
that's the middle
to your
ground
cash
of the
flow.
middle class.
Right.
The upper middle class might be different.
Yeah, I appreciate you taking my call, but the long and the short of it is the integrity of the society needs to just increase. We need more accountability for each other, and we need more whistleblowers. And I would never think I'd be the person to say that, but I've been robbed by contractors, and they are Bahamian, and the ones who are not Bahamian are the honest ones, and that's where our society is going.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thanks a lot. You need to call into our new show, Nailed It, Thursdays at 6:30 p.m. by the Bahamian Contractors Association. Call in and give your tell them what happened to you and talk about it. They'd love to hear from you, I'm sure. Thursdays at 6:30. I really appreciate your call. Thank you very much. Let's take some more calls. 323-6232. 325-4316. 325-4259. Tweet us, Facebook us, text us, 422-4796. We can't disagree, though. The costs are high. Costs are high and unnecessarily so. And, well, I'm glad you didn't fall for that, if that's right what you're saying. I mean, I can't believe double.
Wow.
I mean, what are you getting out of that? Just the warranty?
I don't know.
But yeah, you don't have to fall for that.
We have too many cars in this country.
Well, that's a different story. That's a different show. That's a whole other conversation. But if you had better public transportation,
correct,
might be.
Yeah,
might not need to talk about this.
Correct.
Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Good morning.
Hi. Good morning.
Sawyer and Company Limited.
What? No, everything's wrong. All the names are wrong that you're saying.
Lord.
Oh my goodness.
Sorry about that.
Okay.
Thank you. Yeah,
wow.
Yes, sir. Not so much middle class per se, but I think everyone should be able to eat every day of the year, should be able to pay their bills. So cost of living is what is hitting us as a nation. And, but I want to give a suggestion in terms of crime, as to go along with these cameras. I think we have a lot of saturation patrol vehicles. They are actually numbered. So if you look at any saturation patrol vehicle, you will see the number on the side of it. And perhaps we may have as many as 100 of them, but we have for sure a good deal amount, maybe on half, maybe on 50. And perhaps if we should have some of them park at certain intersections to replace, in place of the cameras, we have physical cameras, persons on spot, and not burning the gas, not driving per se, but just be at certain locations and so on and so forth, so that when there is something happening, they don't have to come from head office or from any station or so. They are actually basically there. That will be, I think, a better deterrent than just the cameras that sometimes perhaps don't work.
Yeah, okay. I hear you. That sounds, I know it's been proposed before, definitely, especially in some of these intersections, Prince Charles and Soldier Road, my God, where people doing foolishness every minute of the day. It might be helpful, but someone's got to be in it, though. So you just can't have the fake car. Unless you mix it up, like, wait, is somebody in there? And then, wait, no, somebody is in there. And like, yeah, no. But I hear you. Let's take another call. Good morning. You're on the air.
Yes, good morning, Dwight. Good morning, Dequessa.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning.
Last week, Dwight, I wanted to call. I was trying to, but I wanted to say something that Dequessa was talking about again this morning too, which is that responsibility of the public. All right. Now, Dequessa, I think I heard you have some type of training course where you teach individuals or go to certain employment places and train the staff to be better staff. Am I correct so far?
You are.
Okay, but see, so they needed that training. They employed, but they needed that training. They needed an understanding, or they needed, you know what I mean? They needed to understand what it is that is expected of them, or what they should, how they should act, et cetera, et cetera. They were taught specifically how to deal with that task. You see, the point I was trying to make right before is that we as a people and our history, we don't know what it is to be accountable, to be accountable and to do and all this stuff, and we're not educated on a level to be critical thinkers. All right, we live in a society where piracy become from piracy. Where in this society where like, you know, people have a mindset now, like if you good, you get run over. You understand? So you cannot expect a people who do not know what it is who don't even know what these things are to act like it all of a sudden.
What
You know
percentage
what I mean?
do you think fall in that category? What percentage?
I didn't hear you.
What percentage do you think falls into that category?
Oh, I mean, the majority. I can't give you a number, Dwight, but I would say the majority. You know, because you know the majority of us, that's the majority. You know what I mean? But my point, I was trying to get this up just now, but let me see if I can remember what I was going with that. But my point is that, you know, it's like telling people to pull up their bootstraps and they ain't got no boots. You know, that kind of way. I mean, I understand, Dequessa, that the way you think, but see, everyone doesn't have your mindset, Dequessa. I know it's easier for some people who may have had exposure to certain levels of education or had the privilege of having certain parents who, you know, for some reason may have gained some understanding they could pass on to them. But your reality is not everybody else's own.
All right, so
You know
knowing
what I mean?
this, what are we to do knowing this? What do you suggest?
Well, like I told you last time, I mean, the thing we need to do is, first of all, to educate the people on what is expected, how they should act, how they respond, et cetera, et cetera. You know what I mean? We need to educate the people, you know, on what it's like. But we need to, because my greatest problem when we pass the blame onto the public is that we take the responsibility and the accountability away from who it should be going toward, and that's the government. You know what I mean? See, because, Dwight, if I take over leadership of a nation, right, I'm supposed to take a comprehensive look at that nation, right? I'm supposed to look at where we are falling down, you know, where we lock in, et cetera, right? And I'm supposed to put in, you know what I mean, put in place the necessary things to counter what it is that's going on in the society. That is what I'm there for, Dwight. You know what I mean? And see, and the fact that we allow our government to, I mean, just for one issue alone, to push that D issue on us, right? And to not want to correct it. And to not want to make sure that when our students come out of school that they are properly educated, like, you know what I mean, A's and B's, I mean, C the least.
No, that's no one's not, who's stopping. They're not doing that. What are you saying?
No, Dwight. I mean, Dwight. When there was discussion about the D average, et cetera, right?
Yeah, and again, there's no D average. We stop. There's no D average. We got to stop saying this. That's not how this works. But
okay, well. But when they were talking about the level of the grades in the schools, right? They were trying to make it seem that they were trying to push it off to the public, as if what we were getting was okay. You know what I mean? Like that there was no urgency, that there's no need to increase that. You know what I mean? You know that whatever that is. You say they don't say D, but whatever they because I know the public get this D average thing from it. They wasn't talking
because D is average, but D is the scale. It is the scale of that exam. But go back and find out how many people who graduated before 1992, how well they did on their GCEs. How about you do that? Then you find out how really bad things are, or if they are bad at all compared to how they used to be.
I'm talking about with the current status in the country right now. And what I'm talking about is, what do you see our politicians, what do you see our leaders
here's the thing. They come from us, so they come from us. So if what you're saying is true, that would be the reason why you're not seeing it. But that is not true. Right? So most of these people...
They're not trying to improve the education system?
It's not true they're not trying to improve it, but it's not true that most people don't know what is right and what is wrong.
Most
people do know. Do they choose to do? You said more than half.
No, I didn't say most people don't know what's right from wrong. I'm talking about that accountability thing, Dwight. I'm talking about that thing what the Quest is talking about. You understand where I'm coming from? And quite frankly, Dwight, in our society, we have certain things that should be wrong that kind of are right. You know what I mean? The whole society is upside down, Dwight. You understand where I'm coming from? And my point is that if we're going to put the blame on someone, right, if we're going to want to hold someone accountable, let's hold the people who volunteered to correct the problem. Let's hold the people responsible who we pay to fix the problem. You understand where I'm coming from? And let's stop.
I don't think it starts there. I don't think it starts there, Dwight. I'm hearing a lot of what he is saying, and there are a couple of things I think it's important for clarity. Yes, I do teach customer service and leadership. We spend a lot of time on mindset, but I also want to share that I also was in that category of people that were just existing. So you just routinely go through life. You just routinely do what you see. You just routinely, it's like routine. And so to have a process mind requires some support. It requires mentorship. It requires guidance. It requires somebody to get you to think differently, right?
Yes, it does.
And that, again, is a personal choice. This comes back to personal choice.
Yeah. But see, it shouldn't. If all of us, the Quessa, should have that type of mindset, right? Then it shouldn't be a personal choice. It should be mandatory that we all sit down. I mean, even if you don't take in what you are given, do you understand? Even if you don't, you know what I mean? Because not everybody who go to school will pay attention. You understand where I'm from? But let it be available to you.
But it should start from the moment that you're born. And I think we're opening...
Dwight just finished saying to Quessa that we come from a society where all of us are so you can't expect just the parents of these children to know.
No, that is the expectation, because things changed. When we were growing up, we were taught certain things. If you were in my age category, right?
But all of us weren't taught the same things.
Maybe not.
Even in our age category, everyone didn't learn the same thing. All of our parents didn't have the same moral principles.
This is true.
Same level of this and same level of that.
This is true, but we're a less moral society now than we were then.
Oh, I definitely would agree with that.
Right.
Now. I would definitely agree that we are less. You know what I mean?
So we can't take the responsibility away because we are told that we should train children. We're told that we should train them in the way that they should go.
Okay,
and so that is a parental responsibility. Yes, you may not. And I want to say this because I didn't know how to be a parent, so I bought a book.
Okay.
That is a personal choice.
Yeah, but see the question. But the thing about it is this too, Dwight.
Okay, before you go on, we don't have much time, but I need to ask you this. I want to ask you this. So what should, because I mean, these programs that you're talking about, these things are happening. It's a personal choice, as DeQuest is saying. Plenty of people choose not to get into the program. They have the free will to do it. Like, hey, do you want to join this? Because we offer this and this and this. And people are like, I don't have time for foolishness. And they walk on by. So what do you suggest? You want the government to make people do these things? Come into your home and take them?
I want the government to make available in the schools a proper education curriculum. You know what I mean? That's what I want. I want them to make it available, Dwight. Right now in the school system, the curriculum is not adequate. You understand? The curriculum does not teach us what we need to function as proper human beings on the outside. It doesn't teach us conflict resolution. It doesn't teach us critical thinking. You know what I mean? But it teaches Romeo and Juliet. You understand?
You still teaching that?
And Romeo and Juliet could teach you conflict resolution too.
Or they may be teaching Romeo and Romeo now.
All right.
Okay.
Thanks
a lot, caller.
Very interesting.
You can learn a lot about conflict from Romeo and Juliet. Everybody ends up dead. If you don't get sensible. But okay, we're not going to argue with you. Absolutely, there are issues with the curriculum, and I think the officials are aware of this, and they're all working. But there are a lot of people who pass through and are brilliant and doing very well, and there are a lot of people who are doing very badly.
Yeah.
And that is unfortunately the way it works in the world, sadly, especially if you're in an environment where the education is not valued, where no one's checking if you did homework or if you're learning anything.
Or where that type of education is more valued than a technical one, because there's nothing wrong with technical skills, which lead you to be self-employed or an entrepreneur, All right, we're being taught to be followers and workers.
I think if you're in that environment where you're not going to be encouraged to do anything. So technical or vocational or anything.
I mean, even from an educational, overall government educational standpoint, I love the that you can. I think you can attend BTVI free, or they have reduced courses or whatever. But just upselling that a little bit more, so that people who have the gifting to be more technical see that as a valued career versus this instillment from old school parents or society that there are certain careers that are more valued than others.
We got to go to the break. Callers, we'll get back to you in a bit. But I got to say, so yes, you need the government officials to be better, to be more in tune with what's going on. You absolutely do. But you cannot take away personal responsibility.
Correct.
Plenty of these people are using the tools they have to find out how to be better at being horrible. Right? On YouTube to find out how to make a gun, how to get a this and do this and blow up stuff and whatever, right? Instead of using it in the best way possible.
Correct.
The tools are there.
Yeah. What you do with it.
But unfortunately, a lot of people just aren't interested.
That's the truth.
And maybe the government needs to find a better way to deal with those folks. But you have to be open to it as well.
But it's a lot of hard work.
All of us are in this.
So that's it. Just do the work, the right work.
We'll be back, folks. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9.
Pray I judge nobody and forgive me my sins. I pray we make it. Pray my friend to pull through. Pray as I take it. Unto others I do. Praying on your love. We pray with every breath. Though I'm in the valley of the shadow.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, Nassau, Bahamas.
Christmas wish for all of you. Get a no-fee loan from RBC, it's true.
No more wishing for your Christmas ideas to come true. Get a no-fee loan from RBC and make those ideas a reality.
It's a Christmas wish for all of you. Get a no-fee loan from RBC, it's true.
Finding the right loan for all of your Christmas ideas starts with a conversation. Visit a branch to speak with an advisor today. Offer ends December 31st.
It is time for your first look at traffic for the morning, brought to you by RBC and the Holiday Home and Auto Expo, November 16th at the JFK location in Royal Star House. In your traffic alert, a reminder of the work going on Mount Royal Avenue. That is between 7:30 or 7 o'clock p.m. to 2:30 a.m. This is expected to continue until November 15th. Beginning at Shirley Street on Mount Royal Avenue. So residents are allowed, only residents are allowed access. Everyone else follow the posted signs and avoid the area if you can. In your real-time traffic this morning, we are seeing a number of hot spots. We've got Milo Butler Highway with heavy traffic northbound from well south of the Fire Trail roundabout straight through to Tawny Williams Darling Highway northbound. Gladstone Road also busy for you, very busy, well south of the Fire Trail intersection straight up to John F. Kennedy Drive and Bahamas Boulevard. And Carmichael Road seeing some slow-moving eastbound traffic on the way to Blue Hill Road, which is busy from St. Vincent straight through past Carmichael, and especially again north of Soldier Road on the way to the roundabout with Independence Drive and Tawny Williams Darling Highway. Tawny Williams Darling Highway eastbound seeing some slow-moving traffic. Independence Drive slow, heavy traffic westbound toward Blue Hill. And we've got Prince Charles Drive, major slow-moving traffic on the way to Beatrice Avenue if you're heading westbound, and on the way to Robinson Road, Soldier Road at the intersection of Robinson, Prince Charles, heavy northbound traffic on the way to Bernard Road and Wolf and Village. Eastern Road, you're not moving from San Souci to about Johnson Road this morning. Those are your hot spots. We'll have another update for you after the 8 o'clock news. Morning Blend Traffic brought to you by RBC, the Holiday Home and Auto Expo, this Saturday at the JFK location in Royal Star House. And time for another check of your weather, brought to you by Invest Fast Bahamas. We've got a relatively weak cold front across the northern Bahamas. That's going to be nudged southwards by a strong high-pressure system building across the western United States throughout the day. Humid conditions and light breezes will gradually give way to locally fresh breezes and quick-moving showers as the front enters the southern Bahamas by late tonight. So that front, combined with a deepening tropical system in the Caribbean Sea, will bring fresh to strong easterly breezes to the Bahamas as high pressure builds beginning Wednesday morning. The front's going to exit the area by Wednesday evening. And winds will weaken slightly by late Thursday ahead of a reinforcing cold front that's going to really bring down temperatures to what you should be seeing at this time in November. And that's going to be followed by a dry air mass. And high pressure will keep conditions quiet and cool for the remainder of the week into the weekend. So for today, for the northern Bahamas and the northwest Bahamas, well, the northern Bahamas, including Grand Bahama, mostly sunny, turning mostly fair tonight. For the northwest Bahamas, including New Providence, partly cloudy with occasional cloudy periods at first, becoming partly sunny by this afternoon. Expect mostly fair conditions tonight as the front continues to move through. For the central Bahamas, partly sunny with cloudy conditions near the frontal boundary today. Mostly fair with cloudy intervals tonight. And then for the southeast Bahamas, a mix of sun and clouds today, turning partly cloudy tonight. Temperatures in the mid-80s for highs, in the mid-70s for lows. In your extended outlook for Wednesday, tomorrow, partly sunny across most of the area, turning partly cloudy in the southeast Bahamas. For Thursday, mostly sunny. Then Friday, partly sunny to sunny, and Saturday, sunny. We'll take a closer look at the tropics and the system we're watching there in our next weather check after the 8 o'clock news. This weather check brought to you by InvestFest Bahamas. Don't miss your chance at over $8,500 in giveaways at InvestFest Bahamas, sponsored by Bissix and Simplified Lending. Imagine winning seed money for your next investment or funds to grow your business, all while learning from top financial minds and making powerful connections with industry leaders, fellow entrepreneurs, and seasoned investors. Remember, you must be present to win. Be there November 14th from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. at the Convention Center, Grand Hyatt, Bahamar. Secure your ticket at investfestbahamas.com.
It turns out that there is more than one special gift to give that special someone this Christmas. Consumers are searching for the perfect presents and the right prices. So why not place your products or services in the Nassau Guardian's Holiday Gift Guide? And this year's Christmas shoppers will be sure to find that special something for everyone on their list. For an all-inclusive price, you can have your ads published twice in December in the Nassau Guardian's Holiday Gift Guide, in addition to 10, 15, and 30-second commercials, and not to mention a web ad on the Nassau Guardian's website. Advertising deadline, remember, is November 29th. For more information, contact your sales agents or call the Nassau Guardian Advertising Department at 302-2300. That's 302-2300. And ask about our Holiday Gift Guide Media Bundle. You don't want to miss this opportunity. Ring in those holiday profits by placing an ad in the Nassau Guardian Holiday Gift Guide.
Thanksgiving has arrived early at Montague Motors. This whole month is Black November with deep discounts on selected models. Roll out this season in style. Montague Motors, trusted quality service for over 20 years. Zero down every.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, Nassau, Bahamas.
We are back with Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9, streaming live on GuardianTalkRadio.com and on the Guardian Radio app. You can tweet us, Facebook us, and text us 422-4796 on the Guardian Radio text line powered by BTC. Dwight Strachan along with DeQuesta Dean. All right, so we are talking about this headline in the Nassau Guardian today. Crimes, $100 million hit to GDP. The IDB says the Bahamas has the fourth highest in region in cost impact of homicides. Right, This is how much we are losing because of the homicide rate. But just talking about this already, we were getting some interesting calls and text messages. The previous caller saying it's the government. The government is not doing enough. I'm sure there is more the government can do. Yeah. But this is us. This is an us problem. Something is wrong. I want to read this story to you in just a bit. We gotta you know that people here know this is not going to solve any issue. But this story in the Tribune today. Recent stabbings connected. Chief Superintendent Chrislyn Skippings says 2 stabbing incidents over the weekend, one resulting in the death of a landlord, are connected. We told you about this. We didn't know it was a landlord at the time, but here we go. The deceased victim, Jeffrey Burrows, was found unresponsive inside his Hyler Street home on Sunday with stab wounds following an alleged argument. You remember? People heard him arguing with somebody the night before. Apparently, it was with his tenant over unpaid rent. Wow. Relatives of Burrows, the victim, reportedly attacked the alleged attacker, a 41-year-old man. These are not young people. At his Hyler Street residence, so in the apartment that he's renting.
Right.
Yeah, okay.
That he ain't paying rent for.
Oh, wow. Well, Chief Superintendent Skippings told reporters that the alleged suspect, who suffered multiple injuries to his head and limbs, has been released from hospital. Meanwhile, 2 men, both aged 18, are in custody in connection with the attack on him. Skippings advising family members on both sides of the spectrum to avoid escalating the situation and to let the law run its course. She also urged people involved in domestic disputes to resolve conflicts peacefully. She said, quote, "You will never see eye to eye with someone. You're always going to have an issue with someone. That is the way we are wired. I will never see the way you see things, but we've got to get to the point where we can actually sit down and have healthy discussions and come to a resolution. We cannot get to this point where we're picking up edge tools to resolve a conflict. And then after the incident happens, you're sorry, it's too late." She's advising vigilance ahead of the Christmas season, noting that crime may increase because criminals would want to buy gifts for their family members as well. Oh, wow. Okay. Well.
Every year?
How nice.
Every year?
Now, Burrows' death, so there's lots of confusion over the murder count. Everybody is at a different place, but we're in the triple digits. Just know that. But this is just horrible. And to see that this came to this, a tenant stabbing the landlord and then getting stabbed by relatives of the landlord.
Right.
And everybody's life is ruined.
Right.
There's a man dead. Obviously, that tenant deserves to be buried in the jail.
Yeah.
And now these teenagers, good Lord, man.
Yeah, they'll be charged.
This is foolishness. And who are you going to blame here? Who are you blaming? The government? Yeah. Now, what happens? Who gets charged here? And what? Right? That's another story.
Yeah. But
this is crazy.
It's crazy. And it's mindset. Like, what is in the mind of the person that says, "Oh, we're arguing about rent. Oh, the landlord wants rent. Let me stab him for what he said." And then what's in the mindset of the person that says, "Oh, you stabbed my uncle, cousin, whatever. I got to get you back now because you can't live. We got to get you." Like, how is that mindset cultivated? That's I would really like to know. How is that mindset cultivated? Is it the influence of television? Is it being influenced by examples that people see in the community or generally? Like, where's that influence coming from? Are you born with the thought that I can just kill people or try to kill people? Like, where is it?
Well, the revenge one, sadly, I mean, it's a little more understandable. But the one to
Right.
stab the landlord.
Where does
what
that come
the heck?
from?
And then have the nerve to be back at, you really are.
Right.
Really, really. Like, what the... Ah, boy. Oh, man. So we got big problems.
Yeah.
Big problems. And yes, more programs, sure. But there are programs. There are programs already, and people aren't taking advantage because everybody thinks, hey, I'm fine, I'm
They're
perfect,
okay,
I'm great.
correct. Or they're worried about what people will think if they take those programs, or people know they take those
Or
programs.
they do not care.
You know, like that question of what will people think is a question that ruins so many lives, right? So many lives. What will people think ruins us financially because we have to buy this, buy that, buy the next to keep up the Joneses? What people think keeps us trapped in
You
relationships.
said Joneses or Joneses?
Joneses.
Oh, okay.
Keeps us trapped in relationships.
You
What will
be
people
a Joneser
think?
if you try to keep with the Joneses.
Keeps us trapped on jobs. Like that question, boy, that being concerned about other people, you got to get to a different level with that. Don't care.
My goodness, let's hear from you folks. 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259, toll free 242-300-5720. Tweet us, Facebook us, text us 422-4796. Got a whole lot of your text messages. We'll get to those in just a bit. Let's take these calls though. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Good morning, Dwight, and good morning to Quessa.
Good
Hi,
morning.
good morning.
Did I get it right?
Yeah, you did.
Okay. You know, Dwight, everything you said, everything the Quessa said, is also correct. You know, they say whatever you tolerate today becomes your culture tomorrow. But the caller before your show was absolutely correct. And you notice, Dwight, that you keep, whether you know it or not, you keep referring to the lack of data. The same thing the newspaper articles say. And so essentially, we are trying to fix things by happenstance. We have no data to support any direction that we want to go. And we are saying to people is that, you know, you don't have to go to the doctor anymore. You could self-diagnose and treat yourself because, you know what the program is you need to take. You know what it is you need to do. But the problem is that we miss the concept of domestication. And the Bahamas, and no matter what you think, and you could use the reference, and I think, Dwight, your favorite caller makes reference to the deterioration of the family. And he's absolutely correct, because you could simply go back maybe 30 years and see the makeup of the family. And it was 25% in one direction, and today it's 25% in the other direction. So that means we have a flipped mirror effect in response to that. But what happens is because of the lack of economic opportunities, what we have is that we have Bahamians who have been domesticated into a life of limited poverty, where poverty is not just a financial state, but it's now become an inherited mindset. And so when you look at the fact that we say 50% of our people don't finish school, then we go and say these group of people from school isn't meeting the benchmark, and we have social promotion, then you have the fact that we lack the sophisticated skills to compete in the 21st century economy. It's not a single thing. It's a complex issue, but it's a multiple of things that have got us to where we are. The problem is that we have been buying buckets as opposed to repairing the roof. And so how do we look at these different things? We talk about crime. Okay, it says that, no peace, no crime. That's key. Like they say, no peace, and no, I get it mixed up. But essentially what happens is this. You look at the court system. You get charged 5 years, 10 years later, 20 years later, you're still waiting for what, a trial. Where does the justice goes to no thing. They said no justice, no peace. KNOW, no justice. KNOW, no peace. And so when we look at this broken cycle that we have actually unified and taken as a part of our way of life, we have basically adopted learned helplessness. And so the problem is that we are not hearing from leadership. And Dwight, you say government? It is government. If it isn't government, then we don't need to have elections. We don't need to have leaders. But it says it rises and falls on leadership.
Yeah.
But
so I'm not saying they're not, but there's what are interpersonal issues. I I don't know if that's the government there. I'm
no,
saying
it is. No, because you see, government creates the environment, the ecosystem. Okay, whether you, and this is where I say that I said that what you have is a slow domestication by failure of the systems of governance.
Well, sure, the lack of consequences, yes, so those type
no,
things.
all of it. No, that's what I'm saying, Dwight. It's all of it. That's why and this, most important thing is, this 21st century we like to talk about. We like to talk about the words of innovation and state of the art and all these different buzzwords, right? But all of those things, data is the goal of the 21st century, and energy is the currency, right? The problem is that, but when we talk about data, we never can bring data for anything. We have, Dwight, do you know we have billions of dollars worth of data if we was to exploit it, sitting in government silos and other different places across this country? But because we don't know even what data is, we go to Google, we're so impressed by AI, which is like pure data, all these different things. But ourselves itself, we live in a data vacuum of what is it for education? Where are we failing? What is it for the police force? It's a technology data problem. What is it for our economy? It's the same thing. It's like, but we don't speak in context. And what we do is we talk around and talk away different things, right? And then we conflate and convolute things that, when you say, like, let's use an example you did today. You say about people sitting on the internet looking at guns and different things. But if you take a time to look at it, that's not 99% of Bahamians. But yet we have these problems. So what we have is a bunch of little things, right, that is actually impacting the whole thing, but we won't stop to look at it. But let me understand this right. And it's the problem is, right, is when you're in this cycle, I said you're in this cycle, right, this treadmill. You're in this cycle because you're caught in the loop. You don't get to see it away from it, right? Take a quarter, close one eye, put the quarter in front of you, 25 cents in front of you, and try to look. Because that is so close to you, you can't see it in front of you. But the further you get away from that problem, the clearer you'll see beyond it. And it's the same thing you say, right? Do our horses born racers, or we domesticate them into becoming race horses? And when they become that, what we do, we get more and more and more. The problem is us, and we won't face who we are to fix who we are.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you very much. Let's take another call. 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259. Good morning, caller, on the air.
Early days to the student ways along with you and the Cresta, Dwight.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning.
Dwight, I agree with Johnson. The thing is, what I've noticed, right, just on last night around 1 a.m., somebody threw a big rock on my roof. I know who it was, right? I call the police, right? And the police haven't reached yet.
Oh.
But if I go deal with it myself, I would get in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
You see? Our people that runs this country and, we're supposed to be protecting us, they're just slack. You see? They want to put everybody in jail other than themselves and the people that are doing wrong. Something need to give. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Oh boy. All right, let's get to the text line. Okay, this is about Amazon. We'll get to Amazon in our 9 o'clock hour. I enjoy watching your live show just to see the reaction from you and your co-host. Are you spying on us? Is that what you're doing? And listening to these callers. Yeah, well, okay. What's happening? I didn't know that DeQuesta offers customer service classes. They're naming a place that you should check out to help them out.
Oh, gee. Oh, gee.
Oh, boy. Okay.
Thanks for the referral.
Yeah, well. This text says, I think this is in response to the call before the news break. We all have different upbringings, but it's personal choice. This is what we're saying, right? But again, like C. Allen said, right? This is what we've been saying, that if there is no justice, if you can be allowed to do whatever
Correct.
you want and not understand or feel the consequences of it, it doesn't have to be,
chaos.
we're not talking about executing people, but learning that your action is not going to be tolerated,
Right.
and there has to be some punishment for
Correct.
it. If you aren't and everyone knows that you do this stuff and you're allowed to continue to do it, this is where you end up, exactly where we are today.
And you have what we call tacit approval.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And there are many examples. White collar, blue collar, black collar, everything. People, plenty of people, you know who I'm talking about, have been allowed to do whatever they want with no consequences. This person says, Amazon has many affordable home security systems.
That is hilarious.
It's not funny.
I love it.
Will there be free shipping for them? I don't know. It's not
Oh, that's funny.
Oh boy. Okay. It's ironic that the police say they are giving advice when they actually egg on tenants to attack land. Come on now. What? Why would they do that? I was almost burned to death by a tenant. Called police, and the police pushed it under the rug and excluded me from the prosecution. The police force do not care. A foreclosed home was raided by police over the weekend. They put out the paying tenants with 3-day notice and told them to blame the landlord. And the court rules in favor of the evil tenants.
What?
Well, you're saying all kinds of different things.
Yeah.
A foreclosed home was raided by police over the weekend. They put out the paying tenants with 3-day notice, but it was a foreclosed. Okay. Anyway, all right. This person says here, do the police and Wayne Monroe really believe that they just are telling people to resolve their conflicts peacefully is going to change anything? It's more than mindset. These people feel like there is no or very little consequence to these actions, and that is where the government steps in. The government's enforcement of the law is what sets the tone for the country. Absolutely agree.
I stand with that for sure.
Sure. We need it all, right?
Yeah.
You need to tell people, hey, it's not worth it.
Correct.
You're going to regret it.
Right.
Your life's going to be ruined. You think it's bad now, it'll get worse.
Correct.
Plus, there will be the full weight
Swift
of the law
judgment,
on
right,
you.
and swiftly.
Right?
Correct.
So all of it needs to happen.
Yeah. Don't be out here on bail for forever, enjoying life after you do something stupid. It needs to be swift.
Yeah. We're treating crime like how oncologists treat cancer after it's been discovered. We need to start a crime screening program, i.e. starting to address the character of the youth in the nation. It's a character flaw and lack of perceived justice being done. A decade to clear the backlog is crazy. All right, so that's a great, I like your text. Thank you very much. But that is happening, though, right? It might not be called crime screening, but I think many teachers can tell you, oh, that kid? Right? Yeah. Many can tell you this. What's being done. And they're saying it. They're saying things to the parents, and the parents, some are probably acting like, I know I'm trying everything. Or others saying, like, what you expect me to do?
Right.
Rowing them and telling them how you need to do better as a teacher. Right? But it's happening.
Yeah. I mean, and there's so many wonderful programs like, the Teachers Cadets or the Bahamas cadets, or, they teach discipline, they teach structure, all of that. Like, get your kids involved in some of those after school activities,
sports,
or other
music,
disciplines.
Arts, anything.
Get them in. If you need support in helping your kids learn those disciplines, then put them in programs that, some of them are free.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
Actually, some of them pay a stipend. Right? So look at the resources that are available and know that there is help. It may be limited, but there is some help available.
But you can't deny that there are parents out there who don't care.
Don't care?
Don't care.
Really?
Don't care. Don't care.
I think that there are a lot of parents lost as to what to do, especially if you have a difficult child.
There's that too.
Right? What do I do? How do I handle this?
Care. Don't care.
Wow.
Caller, good morning. You're on the air. Hi, good morning. Are you there? Let's take the other call. Good morning, caller. You're on the air. Okay. 323-6232. 325-4316. 325-4259. Toll free 242-300-5720. You all playing with our phones. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Hey, good morning, Dwight. Good morning, Cressa.
Good morning.
I agree with C. Allen there on what he was saying. We and the text about the system. However, my thing is I don't want to drift too far off of what your topic is, but I'm concerned about Bremen. As much as Bremen calls this show and reports the things that happens to him on a regular basis and the police not showing up, there's only so much one person can take. And there may come a time, I know Bremen can't see well, but there may come a time that he may decide to take matters into his own hands rather than trying to reach out to the police. And then they're going to rush there and lock him up. That's not right. I mean, as much as he cried out, how is it that nobody from the police force is responding to him? Nobody is coming around there and checking out to see what's going on, to talk to the persons that are around him to see if they can get them to, like the police say, to resolve this before it can go any further. Are they waiting for him to hurt or harm someone before they rush in? They're always telling you to come to them so they can help resolve these issues, but he's going to them, and it seems like they are totally ignoring him. So I'm very concerned about that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Somebody else may go and take up his plea for him because people are listening. Pardon?
Yeah, we're all concerned. We're all
Yes,
concerned.
thank
Thank you
you.
very much.
Yeah.
Let's take another call. Good morning, caller. You're on the air. Hi, good morning. We can hear some.
Good morning, Dwight. Good morning, DeQuesta.
Hi, good morning.
Very interesting conversation this morning, and I believe that everyone in society has a part to play as it pertains to the delinquent actions that many of us, even adults, take. Growing up, Dwight, coming from a family of 9, but other than 9 is seven kids. Our parents, especially my dad, was a strict disciplinarian, where we did not have our own way to do things that we wanted to do. We were chastised, we were punished, and we were punished with explanation. But what has happened over the decades, what I've observed, is that, with many of us who have grown up, I've heard adults actually say to other adults, listen, I don't want my kids to grow up the same way that we did. I don't want to punish my kids the way how we were punished. But, many of us have turned out to be exceptionally well-balanced, well-rounded, and very disciplined. But we give so much freedoms to the children today that they are allowed to do whatever they want to do. They go around vandalizing people's properties. They go around breaking in people's places. And not just they. Some of the adults also does it. But it seems as if they get a free pass, like it's okay to do it. I just believe that I see in the States they have adopted this policy now, whereas your child who's under your care, if they should happen to damage somebody's property or maim somebody, the parent is held responsible for the actions of their children. And until that time comes around, we will continue to see the escalation of crime. We will continue to see the degradation and the downgrading of our social norms. And it's like we are here with all these possible solutions, but the enforcement of them from a civil standpoint is one thing, but the enforcement of it from a home standpoint is a totally different thing.
Yeah.
So we all got to come together and try to find ways and let the laws on the books be enforced to its maximum, regardless of who you are. But I'll close on this one point. There is this perception in society that there are certain persons who are above the law. The law does not apply to them, and then for the rest of us, the laws apply. So that, too, also lends into the mess that we see today.
Yeah.
So we all got a duty to fulfill what needs to happen in this country to bring this crime scourge under control, because I can tell you, many of us who were brought up in the 60s and 70s, we are not accustomed to what we see going on in our country today, and it's as simple as that. But thanks for taking my call. Okay?
And thank you. Jeff, thank you, and happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday.
Thank you, man. It's great to be 61 in the land of the living.
Yes.
All those persons playing 61, bring me my share, please. Okay?
Okay.
God bless all. Thank you.
Right.
I love the caller's statements because so many people are trying to take the responsibility away from the home. The home has a huge responsibility, the examples that are set, the parenting styles that are used. And yes, each of us could go back to our childhood and say, oh, I wish that there was something that was different. And to be real, there are some parts of the parenting model that need to be improved, but we take it to the far extreme. We take it to the, I had to go to church every Sunday, so my kids will have a choice whether they go to church or not. Or, I was forced to do A, B, and C, but, that taught you discipline. I don't want my children forced to do A. And so we have helped to create some of it.
Yeah. Let's take this call and we've got to take a break. Good morning, caller. You're on the air. Hi, good morning.
Hey, Dwight.
Hi.
How you all doing today?
Doing well.
Wonderful, wonderful. I like what the caller was just saying. And but one of the things that I heard him mention was the fact that when he was young and, if they did something wrong, their father used to discipline them. And it is not carrying on today. But the fact of the matter is, most of the homes in our country doesn't have a father figure. And I believe that plays a key role. And when we look at, just our culture, we have a culture it is so wrong. It is so against nature. It is so against, doing things that is right. And in our communities, when we look at this little tiny country, we have a population of just under 400,000 people. And we look at a city like Miami, a big city. Last year, Miami has a population of about 456,000 people. Last year, Miami had 32 murders. The entire city of Miami, 32 murders. The Bahamas itself had a total count of 110 murders with less than 400,000
So
people.
I
Listen,
keep telling people, be very careful with these numbers. Again, we mix up homicide and murder. And there's a lot in Miami and what the city is and the city limits, and it's really complicated. But that
fine.
region, that South Florida region, they didn't have that small number. That does not discount what we're just saying. Your point you're making, the crime is too high, the murder rate is too high in the Bahamas, indeed. But let's not use Miami as an example.
Okay, that's fine.
But yeah. Mhm. But
That's
yes,
fine.
things are terrible here. Absolutely, in terms of homicide and murder. Yes.
Okay, and that's good. But the key thing is we need to try and fix this problem. And the problem is not, the government's responsibility is not to raise our children. The parents are responsible to raise children. And we need to address that. We as parents need to do a far better job. We always say we hear, someone say, not my good child, not my good son, and when you look, the things that, persons accused of. I come from the inner city. And our culture, and I think we need to focus more, on the things that uplift us and try to get our children to believe and understand that, what, in positive things. Because in our, when you look in our communities, the things that we look up to things that are so negative. But we need to start from the home. We need to encourage, godly principles. When we go away from godly principles, these are the things that happen.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Thank
you. Thank you so
very
much.
much.
Really appreciate it. These messages as we go to the break. This person says here, that tenant shows he lacks proper thinking skills, lacks emotional intelligence for sure. He obviously did not think that through. Look how he ended up here. Yeah, that's really crazy.
Life sport.
I keep saying that people come on the show with no data or data from other countries, but they try to prove a point that doesn't reflect our country. Well, because we're lacking the data, as Seattle likes to say, right? We have a big problem. Dwight, you both just said a lot. If the government sets the tone regarding law abidance and crime, you guys don't see the correlation. Attitude reflects leadership. Yeah, we get that. We get that. But how you decide to stab somebody because
correct. That was your
they
choice.
are in your face. That's on you, buddy. That's on you. That's on you.
That's your choice.
Right? Now, if you thought I can get away with this because
Of
the where we are,
and how long it takes.
yes, that's
Yeah.
absolutely on,
that may be a
on
part
the
of it,
people
but,
who are making the laws. We're going to take a break. We'll be back. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9.
Oh, yeah. Break and scrape and jump and move. Master out and bust a move. Grab your pants down to heel and go. That's how we behave, yes, go. Just because you're proud and strong. Grab your cowbells, beat that drum. Wind your
Are
waist,
you
gal,
behaving
come
with
along.
property on one of our 16 island destinations? Well, the Tourism Development Corporation, in partnership with Bahamas Development Bank, is officially launching our Home Sweet Home Incentive. Join the vacation market by transforming your properties into vacation rentals. Earn up to $10,000 or more in funding and start building today. Register at tdcbahamas.com. From October 7th to November 18th. What are you waiting on? Build your vacation home today.
This year, Roberts Furniture and Omni Flash Cash are giving you cash in a flash. Receive up to $3,500 in financing from Omni and get cash discounts up to $500 from Roberts Furniture in just 3 easy steps. Choose your furniture, submit your documents, arrange your delivery. It's that simple. Put furniture in your house and up to $500 in your pocket, all within 72 hours. Omni Flash Cash and Roberts Furniture. Quality, comfort, style, and cashback discounts. Visit Roberts Furniture 5th Terrace, Centerville for details. Phone 322-8862. Like us on Facebook.
Maybe it's time to explore your options. There's no harm in reviewing your mortgage arrangement and considering a better deal. CIBC Caribbean can help you narrow your search and decide. Switch your mortgage to CIBC Caribbean and enjoy a special interest rate and help towards your switching cost. Visit CIBCFCIB.com/inspired home for more information. Conditions apply.
The joy of giving comes with rewarding you with cash prizes from our regional pot of over US $100,000. Simply apply for a personal loan, auto loan, land loan, or mortgage from CIBC Caribbean. Once approved, you may be entered for a chance to be one of 3 lucky winners in your country. Each winner will pull a card with a surprise cash prize of US $1,500, US $2,500, or US $5,000 cash. Visit CIBCFCIB.com/joy of giving. CIBC Caribbean terms and conditions apply.
And it's time for your final look at weather for today, brought to you by Sherwin-Williams Paints. Got a lot going on. We've got a relatively weak cold front that is moving through the northern Bahamas. That's going to be nudged southwards by strong high pressure building across the western U.S. throughout the day today. Humid conditions that we've been seeing over the past couple of days and light breezes will gradually give way to locally fresh breezes and a few quick-moving showers as the front enters the southern Bahamas by late tonight. So that front, combined with a developing tropical system in the Caribbean Sea, we'll tell you more on that in a bit, will bring in some fresh to strong easterly breezes across the country as high pressure builds beginning early tomorrow morning, with the front moving out of the southeast Bahamas by Wednesday evening. Winds will weaken slightly by late Thursday evening ahead of a reinforcing cold front moving off the U.S. eastern seaboard by Friday morning. The frontal boundary will briefly usher in seasonably cooler temperatures as it enters the northern Bahamas by Friday evening and moves out of the south of the country by early Sunday. So a dry air mass along with high pressure will keep mostly quiet and cool conditions in place across the area during these few days. So boaters, be alert for a near gale warning and a gale watch will come into effect by tomorrow morning. So small craft operators are urged to seek and remain in safe harbor by 6 p.m. this evening. Motorists and pedestrians along coastal roadways should be alert for possible light fog in the early morning hours before sunrise in the northern, central, and northwest Bahamas. And there is a risk of rip currents along Atlantic beaches. For today, in the northwest Bahamas, including New Providence, partly cloudy with occasional cloudy periods at first, becoming partly sunny by this afternoon as that front moves through. Expect mostly fair conditions tonight. For the northern Bahamas, including Grand Bahama, mostly sunny today, turning mostly fair tonight. For the central islands, partly sunny with cloudy conditions near the front as it moves through, becoming mostly fair with a few cloudy intervals tonight. And for the southeast Bahamas, a mix of sun and clouds today, turning partly cloudy tonight. High temperatures in the mid-80s today, around 85 Fahrenheit to about 29 Celsius. Overnight lows tonight getting down to about 75 Fahrenheit, 24 Celsius. Your extended outlook for tomorrow, Wednesday, partly sunny across most areas, turning partly cloudy in the southeast Bahamas. By Thursday, mostly sunny. Friday, partly sunny to sunny, and sunny for Saturday and Sunday. In the tropics, a tropical wave over the central Caribbean Sea has a high chance, about a 70% chance now, of tropical cyclone formation through the next 7 days. The tropical depression could form late this week as the system moves westward into the western Caribbean Sea. That's your morning blend weather check brought to you by Sherwin-Williams Paints. Sherwin-Williams Paints have got you covered for all your painting and equipment needs. Visit Sherwin-Williams Paints online or in store today. And we've got your final look at traffic for the morning brought to you by RBC and their Holiday Home and Auto Expo, November 16th at the JFK location in Royal Star House. In your real-time traffic, still seeing that heavy traffic on Milo Butler Highway from Fire Trail straight up to Tawny Williams Darling Highway in the northbound lanes there. Gladstone Road is looking better as an alternate route for you. Just about midway through, if you're heading northbound, you'll see that traffic on the way to John F. Kennedy Drive and Bahamas Boulevard in front of you, northbound. Over on Carmichael, it is a different story. Carmichael seeing some heavy traffic eastbound this morning to Blue Hill Road. Blue Hill Road still busy for you from Carmichael and north of Soldier Road on the way to the roundabout with Independence Drive. Independence Drive backed up in both directions, east and westbound at this hour. East Street busy for you north of Sapodilla Boulevard, and especially as you get closer to Soldier Road if you're heading northbound. Wolf Road, we're seeing quite a bit of congestion on Wolf Road near Marathon Road, and especially west of Mackey Street, all the way through to pretty much Blue Hill Road, especially as you get closer to East Street. East Street's busy north of that intersection as well. A lot of traffic there. Eastern Road, still heavy traffic for you, east of Fox Hill to about Johnson Road, and Prince Charles Drive, still heavy westbound traffic on the way to Beatrice Avenue and just west of that area into Robinson Road. That's what we're looking at right now. That's your real-time traffic and your Morning Blend traffic alert brought to you by RBC and the Holiday Home and Auto Expo this Saturday at the JFK location in Royal Star House. We're back with Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Dwight Strachan along with DeQuesta Dean. Coming up in business, we're going to talk about Amazon and what's happening here. Companies are reacting to this, but we want to hear from consumers. What do you say? I mean, nobody seems to be checking for consumers. Is this good for consumers? Right. So we'll get into that. Let's take this call. Then we've got your text messages to get to before we have to break for news. Good morning, caller. You're on the air. Hi, good morning. You're breaking up there. Are you there?
Hey, my phone is giving me a bit of trouble.
Okay, we can hear you now.
Okay, I'm calling in regards to this morning. My tenant called me to advise me that two young men were in my yard. Now, apparently, he said that he called the police okay? And then I, in return, called the police. And when I called the police told me that they didn't have no cars available and that I would have to call 911. Now, I was thinking that, hey, if I given you my information, you can clearly dispatch a unit to come in the area that I was requesting the unit to come, but nobody never came. So what do we do in a situation like that?
Yeah.
We cannot confront individuals because you don't know what they have on them.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And this is where the government comes in, right? This is where you need the government to be playing their role.
Yeah.
Right? Well, why are we still talking like this? Especially with all these vehicles that they get every year. And this is madness. So where do things stand at this point? Anything resolved or?
No, they never sent a unit.
My goodness.
They
Wow.
never sent a unit, you
Yeah.
know, and that's a little bit scary because living alone, and not only that, my tenant, you know, it's scary for both of us.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
I hope it works out. I'm so sorry that you had to
Sorry
go through
about
that.
that.
My God. Yeah.
Yes.
Thanks a lot. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Well,
Thank you. Have a great day.
That is rough. That is rough. Wow. Let's read these text messages. This person says here, my point is the police don't care. Oh, gosh. I dealt with this for 20 years, and I mean the whole police force. This is the person who said the police push the tenants on. I don't know if that's accurate. But anyway, they're saying they've dealt with it for 20 years, and I mean the whole police force. I had footage, and the police did nothing. And then you wonder why people take drastic measures. Yikes. Don't do that, though. Don't do that. But I know it's frustrating. Yeah. Wow. Dwight, whether we admit it or not, these issues start from the homes. Parents don't go to church. They don't even, they don't go. They are so busy running around behind the dollar that they don't even know their own kids. No PTA meetings. Kids locked in homes with TV and internet and games. Those games are growing them. This all starts at home.
All a part of the problem. A part of it. Yeah.
Big part.
Definitely.
Big part.
Yeah.
This texter says, my tenant called me this morning. This is the same person, I think. Same person who called. Yeah. Okay. Wow. I agree. There needs to be a balance in parenting styles from yesteryear versus what we're doing today.
Yeah, because we do go to the extreme. Yeah.
This person says the police cars are never available. Remember I told you a few weeks ago they were available to escort a bunch of brand new cars to a car lot, though. They're available for that.
I guess they were getting paid.
And they're available for funerals.
Yeah, you get
The
paid.
Outriders are
It's
getting that.
revenue generation.
Available to run the big buses through the streets with all the people who are already charged.
Yeah. So do the police stations operate like independently? Is it that's like, for that particular area?
You would think they would be able to call 911 for you, right? Like, okay, I'll reach out to dispatch to see. But they tell you while you're having a crisis to call 911 or 919. Like, hey.
Where were their cars? Where are your cars? Do you have an allotment of 10? Like, does each station have an allotment of cars that are available for the officers to use to respond to these sorts of calls? I mean, these are real questions that I have. And then, are they staffed sufficiently so that if somebody does call, there is actually an officer or two to go out to check? These might be all things that the police force or the government may need to look at. What is really necessary? What do I need at the bare minimum to do all of the things that need to be done? Like, who's sitting down and mapping that out? Okay, I'm going to just go quiet.
This text here, I think Critical Thinker is onto something. As most of us say, the government must do better with traffic rules. So why don't people break the traffic laws in the U.S.? Because they know they'll be punished.
Right.
Thing is, what is the conviction rate in the Bahamas? Is less than 10%. So people have a 90% chance of getting off. So people will take matters into their own hands, unfortunately. Yeah. Governments are elected to lead. Name one legislation that the Bahamas has put in place in the last 25 years. There are, well, I don't know what you mean by that. There's none. There's none. Cases take 3 to 10 years to complete. That is the government's fault. They have a responsibility to govern, and for all the people trying to pass the buck onto them, will continue to be in this situation.
It's both.
It's both. It's both.
You know.
Rights have to be taken away to have this country turn around, and until the lawmakers come to this understanding, we will all be having the same conversation 20 years from now.
Especially if the concern is I'm going to lose a vote if I do X, Y, Z. The concern can't be more for staying in office than it is for the actual development and sustainability of your country.
This person's saying the cars by the donut shop. I don't think in the Bahamas it's a donut. Maybe somewhere else, but not the donut place. No, Texter. No. Wow, no cars. All these vehicles they got recently drive around. They're parked in officers' yards. What? Oh, boy.
Wow.
We're going to take this. Let's squeeze this call in really quickly. Call. You got about 30 seconds. Can you do it? Hi. Nope. Okay. So we're going to go to the news. When we come back, we are going to talk business, talking Amazon and free shipping and what that's going to mean for Bahamians, especially as we head into this holiday. We are here in the holiday season. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Stay with us.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, Nassau, Bahamas. 96.9 FM, fresh news, smart talk, all day.
The views and opinions of the host and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the position of the management and staff of Guardian Network.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Good morning and welcome to Morning Blend Business on this Tuesday, November 12th, 2024. Welcome back to our Morning Blend listeners. Once again, I'm Dwight Strachan along with Duquesa Dean. And it's getting a lot of attention. Amazon offering free shipping to the Bahamas. Announcement coming late last week and into the weekend. Many wondering how this is going to work. And there's reaction now from businesses, local businesses here. A mixed reaction. Some saying this is going to be terrible. There's some words here. The Chamber of Commerce saying imminent threat. But at least a few think that it's not going to be much of an issue because of some other fees that might be involved and limited savings. So some say. So let's go through these articles that are in the papers today, and then we want to get your reaction to it because very few people are talking about the consumer and whether this is good for consumers. And but hey, all right. So in the Guardian Business section today, Chamber says Amazon's free shipping an imminent threat. Says local companies should get creative to keep customers. Well, finally. Our Yuri Kemp writing about it. The Bahamas Chamber of Commerce and Employers Confederation said yesterday that Amazon's free shipping to the Bahamas initiative is an, quote, imminent threat to market share. The statement saying, quote, the Bahamas Chamber of Commerce and Employers Confederation has noted the recent development of Amazon offering free shipping to the Bahamian market and the concerns from the business community, specifically those in the freight, logistics, and retail industries, whom we have been in contact with regarding the same. Indeed, with this new initiative from Amazon, there is an imminent threat to the market share and continuity of a variety of sectors. It begs the following considerations. How should local retailers respond to this threat? Should they set up a store on Amazon to fulfill local orders? Well, that's interesting. Given the major advantage of online shopping, are more retailers pushing to get their businesses online, truly diversifying and digitizing their products and services to serve the modern buying public? With the Trump administration proposing tariffs on some goods and services, will Amazon's competitive pricing be impacted, and does this create an opening for Bahamian retailers to import directly from China, South America, Africa, and other global markets to offer products at competitive prices? Well, Amazon announced that in addition to offering shipping on select items to the Bahamas, it is now running a free shipping promotion to the country as well. According to Amazon, customers that spend over $49 on eligible items will see a free delivery offer at checkout. Amazon offers a shipping to the Bahamas via DHL. Amazon's announcement was met with praise by consumers in social media, who criticized local courier companies for being too expensive or taking too long to deliver packages. The Chamber of Commerce encouraged local couriers to get creative to keep their customers. Sure. It said, quote, initiatives like loyalty programs, bulk discounts, and concierge services. Let me save my comments for after I read the article. Yeah. Initiatives like loyalty programs, bulk discounts, and concierge services would help in retaining market share as customers still chase convenience. This may also entail rate adjustments and customer service enhancements to ensure competitiveness in the refined market. Marketing campaigns that promote the features and benefits of their products and services while encouraging and incentivizing consumers to buy locally is a part of the battle won. Thank goodness for the Chamber of Commerce. You got to tell these people how to do business. Interesting stuff. Moreover, we strongly recommend that local couriers form an association, to better foster the solidarity needed to address challenges like these that may arise. Together, their collective efforts would yield the best results for the industry. The Chamber said it will continue to monitor the situation to ensure that it is the best position to assist its members to adjust their strategy to this new threat. All right, so that's one story. There's another one, and then we can talk about it. Yuri Kemp is also writing that one courier believes Amazon's hidden fees will be a turnoff for consumers. So the chief executive officer of PS Bahamas, Adam Penn, says he's not concerned about Amazon's free shipping to the Bahamas promotion because he believes once consumers experience the e-commerce giant's hidden fees, they will find it easier to work with local freight forwarding and courier companies at the end of the day. Okay. So Penn is saying, quote, I think the free shipping will have a slight effect, but it will all depend on Amazon's pricing that they offer because I know that there will be hidden fees. I checked it out and I see that there are fees that they aren't telling people that they will have to pay, but only when consumers are checking out, they will see the fees.
They have to pay those same fees.
Talk about hidden fees, right? Anyway, Amazon is offering free shipping to the Bahamas via DHL when customers spend $49 on eligible items.
Right.
And it's not across the board. This is me saying this now. And it's not even in the same category of things. Only some may be eligible and others won't, which is very interesting. Anyway, Penn believes that the additional fees by Amazon will turn Bahamian consumers off and will cause them to opt to working with local freight forwarding and courier providers.
Really?
He said, quote, what they do is when you check out from Amazon, they will take a down payment towards what your bill will be, and they still won't tell you what your bill will be. But when your items come, you will see that you have a bill like you were using a courier company.
Sounds very familiar.
So at the end of the day, it will work out to about the same thing if you use Amazon free and direct shipping to the Bahamas versus using a freight forwarding service. So Amazon, again, is going to be using DHL. There are also concerns that DHL just won't have the space to service all the individuals if they all decide to use Amazon's free shipping to the Bahamas. Penn said, quote, "I'm not sure, but we will have to sit back and wait, and maybe hopefully they will be able to join courier and logistics companies. Hopefully they'll be able to, if they have an overflow, they would not, they would subcontract to companies and don't take it all for themselves."
Oh.
Penn said Amazon's entry into the market will hurt some companies. He said, quote, "Most people will go ahead and try it out to see if it works for them. And if they feel they can't afford it, they'll continue to do it. But most courier companies, I don't know if they will be affected." Calls to Comptroller of Customs Ralph Monroe were unsuccessful up to press time. Another courier speaking anonymously, or speaking under condition of anonymity, saying, quote, "This is more of a shakeup for companies that import things into the country. I heard Amazon will be using DHL as their freight forwarding agency, and what that would cause is companies like Tropical Shipping, the Betty K, and importing companies, the air freight and ocean freight companies, to more regulate their pricing. So I feel it is going to stir up the market, but we will have to wait and see what the new protocols would be." Okay. Interesting stuff going on here. So it is early yet. We'll see. I think if I was experimenting over the weekend. If you put in something, it told you what it estimated your fees would be even with the free shipping, based on the duty and stuff like that. But I see what one of the couriers is saying, that there might be additional because it's just an estimate.
It's an estimate. Okay.
Right. It might be additional. But does it work out to be less than if you dealt with a courier?
Right. Because when you think about the fees for the couriers and the differences from company to company and how much the freight cost is, and if it's this size package and that size package, like it's all sorts of variations.
Yeah.
You don't really know until you get there to pick up two.
Well, with the company I've been dealing with, and I hope they listen. I hope that company listens to some of the advice the chamber was giving to them about customer
That's good
service.
Advice. Correct.
Because they don't even have a phone anymore.
What?
You can't call them.
What amount of craziness
And they
is
don't
that?
have their times up on the door.
No, that's
They
crazy.
don't know.
And these are the things that
And you
consumers
could come there
are
every day and they won't know who
That's
you are.
what consumers are frustrated with.
So anyway, that company, I've been just basically whatever I order, double it,
Mhm.
and that's how much I expect to pay. And that usually works out.
Wow.
So imagine that.
Wow.
And you buy a $5, and that happened before, of course, something that costs $5, and usually when you double it, it's four times often. The cheaper it is, the much more it's going to cost. Yeah. But doubling. So if Amazon does free shipping on something, it ain't gonna be double. So somebody's gonna have to adjust.
Yeah.
But again, it's not everything.
Isn't
It's
it
not
similar
everything.
to what there was a shipping company, I think, on East Street by the roundabout? I don't know if they're still open, where you could go to their website, but that I had links to other websites you could purchase.
Oh, I know what you're
and
talking
you could calculate all your duties and
They're done.
everything. You prepay that.
That's
and
done.
I know they're no longer here. I don't think.
that
right.
collapsed.
But isn't that similar to what is happening now? In a
Not
sense,
really.
it's coming to DHL. You're paying your free shipping. You have an estimation of what your duty is. So I mean,
It's a little different.
yeah,
A little bit.
A little, yeah.
A little bit. But
Yeah.
you're cutting out the middleman-ish.
Right.
Yeah.
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 Well, I want to try it because I want to look at if it's worth it versus paying document fee for this, $5 charge for this, all of these different various fees that the couriers are
Tuesday
adding
morning
on.
fee.
Right.
Wednesday
adding
night
on
fee.
correct.
Yeah.
Right. So let me see what the difference
November
is.
fee.
And as a consumer, I think I should have that right. As a consumer, I think I
Early
should have
November
the choice.
fee.
Right. All right. It's just too much. And then the frustration of your package getting lost, you trying to find out if the package reached, there's an issue with the package, and they just giving you attitude about the package. No, that's a lot of headache. I
So
don't know if they
that might still happen.
we're gonna see, right?
Right.
But all of those headaches, the consumers don't want that. As a consumer, I don't want them. Now, what would edge this for me is if I had a local courier that I was sending my stuff to a freight forwarder, and they offer free delivery to your door. I'll still pay for your shipping.
You don't want that.
If you want to add on, right? No, I do want that.
No,
Bring
no,
my
you
things to my house,
Are
so
you
I don't want
always
to come
home?
out. Well, arrange a time.
Because you see.
And not
you see
like
what happens in the
between
U.S.
2 to 5. Like,
when they
okay.
leave it on your door.
No,
and
no,
the
no. We
porch
don't
pirates.
no. So you arrange that, okay, our delivery will be. And I think there's a company that does that. When you order perishables, they deliver it to you from the United States. You order from wherever, and they bring it in their little refrigerated truck, and they bring it to your house. Like, as a consumer, I would pay for when my stuff gets to your freight forwarding.
Yeah.
You could offer, I could pay for the shipping. You could offer add up of the convenience of delivery.
Okay. I don't mind going to pick it up. But you know what hurts? When it tells you that it's there, and when you get there, like, oh, no, it's at the other location on Carmichael Road.
No, that's not
like,
gonna
wait,
work.
now, what?
No.
And it's going to take us a day to get it here.
No.
Which has happened to me at least twice.
And like
With
I
the wonderful
think
company.
I think it was Penn that said that customers want convenience, right? We do. As a customer, I want convenience. So that is one thing that would cause me to continue using a freight forwarder. That, okay, there's a level of extra convenience in it. And then, of course, this is only Amazon, Best Buy, Walmart, all these different Sam's, all these different places. They're not shipping.
The only thing they don't sell at Amazon is puppies. So, I mean,
know,
you can
but
get
people
anything
do
you
buy
want.
wholesale groceries. There are other
You could get
built focus on that. Hey, shop at Sam's, offer little discounts, or like the chamber is saying, be creative in how you now switch, how you now become competitive. Offer packages for when you shop at Sam's and ship.
Okay.
Right? Offer flat rates, or, like things that make sense for consumers. Because even consumers are hopping from courier to courier to courier, trying to find the best one as well.
Absolutely. Yeah. All right, so let's hear from you. Let's hear from the consumers. You've been experimenting. I think that's going to be the thing that gets people, though. It isn't everything.
Right.
And it isn't even I can't even say some things. It's very limited
right.
what it qualifies for the free shipping. And again, the $49 minimum.
Limit, right.
So that may frustrate some people. But at least, if you're lucky, it's something.
Yeah.
Let's hear from you. 323-6232. 325-4316. 325-4259. Toll free, 242-300-5720. I need some tires. And I went online, and it says this does not qualify for free shipping or even shipping at all to your location in the Bahamas. Like, oh, boy.
Yeah.
Because that was going to be something.
Mm-hmm.
Amazon, if you really want to shake some things
Just open it up. Just open it up
Boy,
and
I
let
tell
people
ya.
purchase whatever.
Good Lord. Caller, good morning. You're on the air.
Morning, Dwight. Morning, guys.
Hi, good morning.
I sitting in front of DHL right now, man.
Have you already ordered something?
Well, listen. People talking about if they can handle it. They said you don't come here and tell you have a tracking number and that package is delivered.
Okay.
You got the app on your phone, and they send you a text saying your package is here.
Okay.
That's one thing people talk. These people are in the business of logistics, man.
Yeah.
Amazon, DHL just started shipping Amazon stuff here. People have been using DHL to bring in their packages a long time. It might have been a costly venture, but it's efficient. Now Amazon and them have this thing with the free shipping. But this ain't the first time you could ship something to DHL and on Fort Lauderdale and they bring it over on the plane. You can. And you could return your packages too, Dwight.
Okay.
Yeah. Unlike with the other people, eh?
So listen, you have a lot of freight companies, and I use local freight carriers. You know how much time sometimes they got to go there. They tell you your package there, you get there, they ain't there. They can't find it, you can't track it.
Yep.
The last point of ordering is it was delivered to Miami. They asking you for tracking number. Sometimes they lost your package, no recourse. They don't care.
Bad attitude.
So a lot of that stuff has to change. And one time ago, they used to consolidate your packages, where if you order something for $10, you say, hey, could you leave the package there until I have 4 to 5 packages, put everything together, and have one fee. They find that they have this handling fee for each package.
Talk it.
Right? And all of that, man,
fee
people
is-
ain't got time. People Bahamians want relief, man. Relief. And if this is just a tip of the iceberg, it's just small things where you can get efficient service. I can come here, pick up my package, I come here with my tracking number, the duty is already calculated. You make a choice whether you want to buy the item before you check out your card.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know?
So let me ask you, you've
you don't
ordered...
even know what your duty is. Duty is until you get to the freight forwarder, and then they give you any type of price. And then by Dwight, you know what you got savings on? You don't pay that VAT charge on shipping.
The two VATs.
You pay VAT charge on shipping and duty.
Yeah. Double
But if
VAT.
it's free, you save in VAT.
Absolutely. So let me ask you, so you've ordered something through Amazon already with the free initiative?
Yeah, man. I order it. It tells you, you go through, it tells you if the item qualifies for free shipping. You come here, you see your total cost, you see your estimated customs and all that stuff. It's there. And then you hit pay when you come here. If it's more, or what people are saying, if it's more, you pay additional, right? It's estimated. But if it's less, you pay less.
Oh, wow. So you've done it already, and everything worked out, and it was, how was the estimate? Was it accurate?
You know, big line in there. It's very, because the issue is you have an app. They have an app where you know when your package reaches, and you come and you pick up your package. But a lot of these customs, you go there lying on the door. No one could tell you nothing.
Yeah.
So it helps to improve the efficiency of service straight across the board in the country, because now a big player, I think another shipping company tried it before, but their issue was this big, and I think it's one of His Excellency. He had a shipping company before. I think it was a logistic issue with not having enough warehouse around. But definitely DHL been in the business, man. 15 years doing this in this country, over 15 years bringing in stuff so they can handle this. And if not, that's where the small carriers come in, because I still send my stuff to a local carrier.
Yeah, because everything won't qualify. Everything won't qualify. So the estimate has been pretty much in line. Do you haven't? Yeah.
In line. And then you know what's most important, right? The government gets a lot of its taxes, eh?
Well, sure. If that's
and duty.
Is that most
and
they collect. If
right.
they're not collecting, they got shortfall and leakages with this custom result. Don't be surprised if the government don't support this, eh?
Okay.
Oh.
Well, anyway. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Really appreciate it. Well, I mean, boy, let's take another call. Good morning, caller. You're on there.
Yeah, good morning, Dwight and Miss Dean, Shallon Johnson once again.
Right.
Hey, Dwight, one of my ex and my son works for Amazon Logistics, and this is not complicated. And Amazon is, like the gentleman said, Amazon has been shipping to the Bahamas for a decade. The problem is that we normally pay for shipping. What they're doing now is they're aggregating the logistics even for delivery to the current couriers in the U.S., and then they have them fill out a survey as to where they are reshipping to. And we're now reaching to the aggregate stage that is becoming financially feasible for what we can almost consider the form of drop shipping. Now, there's this is going to be devastating. This is something that I discussed when we were talking about signing on to WTO. I don't know if you're familiar with the UPU, which is the Universal Postal Union, that also handles shipping, etc. And it provides an opportunity for us to rethink what we do. In fact, when you look at Amazon comparative to the other orders we place in the U.S. for regular people, even from Walmart and others, Amazon's volume, this is a single company, Amazon's volume to the Bahamas has reached a critical mass. What happens now is that other companies like Walmart and the other online companies follow suit with Amazon. And as such, when they begin to aggregate and do a price thing with, say, the DHL or even an independent person entering into the marketplace, that person they generally do the match price. Because when Amazon started free shipping, everybody else followed suit.
Yeah.
Wow. And so it does have a cascading impact. But what also happens is this is an opportunity for us in the logistics business, not just for coming from the U.S., but going to the rest of the Caribbean for goods and services that Amazon have imported can land here in the Bahamas, such in Freeport. this is a good opportunity for anyone who really want to go into the logistic business to call the U.S. Embassy and speak to Mr. Charles Bennett, the economic and commercial counselor, who will assist them in helping and understanding the trade agreement we have as we going forward. Because government of the Bahamas itself is going to be impacted. Because what happens is, believe it or not, Dwight, we pay for shipping, we pay sales tax and everything else. When you order directly from Amazon and when you begin to order from these other companies, sales tax would not be included as part of that. And government's revenue from taxing the shipping and even taxing the sales tax and the service fees is also a reduction on government's revenue. And so this has a broader impact than we would like to know. But again, this is Dwight, where we live in the 19th century, trying to use 20th century concepts for a 21st century world. And so it's a reality of where we are. The world is changing. We're trying to remain constant. So we just have to adopt and adapt. And, the Prime Minister talked about, cost of living. All of these plays in part of cost of living, but you did not hear government talk about these different things. What they said is we're going to negotiate with our people to do this and this, whatever, not in the reality of where we are. But the UPU and all these other different things, the trade union, all of these are things that we are signed on to, but we don't utilize.
All right. Thank you very much. Really appreciate it. Let's get these calls in as well. Good morning, caller. What say you on all of this? Hi, good morning. Hi, good morning. You're on the air.
Good morning, Dwight.
Hi.
Sound like the savings being passed on to us.
Well, you might save. You might, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Huh?
I mean, not passed on, but I mean, you might save. You might cut out the middleman and save. You might. Mm-hmm.
So tell me something. Are we taking something away from the government? We taking monies away from what the government is being making?
I mean, they're still going to get something. I mean, they're still going to make money. I mean, but this is... How
this affect in the chambers of commerce people who you always talking about? What are they saying?
Is this how we do? Is that how you function? You base on I'm going to take money out of the government's pocket if I do it like this, so I won't buy this thing here. I'm going to, or do you think about yourself?
No,
like
just
you're
questions
gonna,
asked because the government always said they want to try to do things to make it easier for us. So this might be something what might be easy for us. So although someone say should expect the government that don't agree, I don't see why they should not agree. Because if it can help us, I don't want to know like if they deliver into your office or to your home.
No, you have to go and pick up.
Go and pick it up.
Okay, what are some of the things they not doing free free shipping? Are they dealing like with furnitures and?
It really depends. It's a lot. You gotta. Thanks for the call. You gotta go
to
online
Amazon and take a look.
You can't. There's no rhyme or reason with why this one is free shipping and why the other one is. Or maybe if you dig deeper, maybe it's the location that it's in. I don't know.
Or the weight or the cost.
No, it's not
I don't
that.
know. I don't know.
Maybe where it was manufactured.
Yeah,
maybe.
Yeah.
Which Amazon warehouse it's in. I'm not sure. But I was looking at some things. And like I said, I'm looking at a type of thing, and this one is free shipping. This one is not. This one is. This one is not.
And they have independent sellers too. So
perhaps, right. So it could be the store. It could be based on the store. But it's a really, really depends. Yeah. It's going to be a lot of different things. But again, you got to get that 49 minimum in there. Let's take this call. Good morning, caller. You're on the air. Hi, good morning. Good morning, caller. Hi, you're on the air.
Good morning.
Yes, hi, Dwight.
Hi.
Morning to you and your guest.
Same to
I
you.
also went on Amazon yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
And you're correct. Some of the things will ship for free, and some are not. My card came up to $180 something, and they told me only $91 of my bill qualified for free shipping.
Right.
So that turned me off completely because I looked at it and I said, now wait until these things get here. What is my bill going to actually be? So I am going to continue shopping and shipping with my courier service.
Well, you could have found out. It's right there.
Yeah,
it says details.
Right there.
And you could see what it estimates the fees would be.
And in red, They told you, but they told you what the things were that they were not prepared to ship.
Yeah.
And for me,
So you didn't want to delete those
and
out of the
just
cart?
remove them out the cart
I'd
and
remove
send that
those
to the
and
freight
send the rest
forwarder
of it.
and let the rest come free.
No, absolutely. That's what I'm going to do.
yeah. So that is my problem with it. So I will stick with stick and stay with what I am doing now with my private courier service.
Okay. All right. Good
Thank
stuff.
you.
Thank
Good
you.
stuff. Well, I'm splitting this up.
Yeah, I'm
Free
splitting
here
that up too.
and send that to those to them people over there.
If you have Prime, you could still ship to the courier free.
Here's the problem. So I have Prime.
Right.
Okay, see this is a challenge. So there was something I saw that said that if you have Prime, well, it's already a discounted rate. But for me to do Prime through this would mess up my other Amazon thing. You know what I'm saying? So
yes,
like,
it would.
wait, am I saving money? I'm not sure I am saving money. So it gets complicated. You're gonna have to really think carefully about this and weigh all the pros and cons and look at the costs and stuff like that. So you're gonna be a smarter shopper.
Yeah, you just how you run around from here to everywhere every Saturday to buy whatever.
Well, if you do that.
It's the same thing.
Right. All right, let's take another call. Good morning, caller. You are on the air.
Yeah, good morning, Dwight. How y'all doing?
Doing well. Good morning.
Okay. Well, first and foremost, the government is never going to lose monies on anything coming into the country. No matter who is providing whatever promotion, the government's cost will be accounted for. Whether consumers see that cost on their receipt or not, the cost is worked out, right, behind the scenes.
Right.
But I believe that some kind of promotion, the promotions normally are put forward when you are testing markets,
right? Testing
or ascertaining information, for a specific end game. What do you say, DeGrasso?
Yeah, I agree. That's why you test it.
And so this is the beginning of this information ascertaining is happening for a specific purpose. What that is at this juncture, we could all take a wild guess on. But I'm certain something else is coming as a result of this data grab that is taking place directly with Amazon. And hopefully, at the end of the day, whatever that is coming would be to the benefit of Bahamian businesses as well as the government, because as we all know, if it doesn't benefit the government, it ain't happening for the people. That's the bottom line. One more point I'd like to make. Can you hear me, Dwight?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, great. And I think I don't remember if I even said good morning to the nation, but good morning to the nation. I believe that now that there is a new president in the United States, he once hinted at his interest in making the Bahamas a territory of the United States.
What now?
I think we can look forward to that coming on the drawing board.
When did he say that?
What
I
do you
don't
think,
recall.
Dwight?
I don't recall that. When did he say that?
He hinted at that during his last administration, and me and you had the conversation. Well, I actually brought the conversation to you on your show when he hinted at it. Dwight. I would have to look back in my library, but he did hint at it while he was president.
Okay.
In his last administration, and I'm certain that conversation will come up again before his term comes to an end. I just thought I'd put it out there early. Thanks for the opportunity.
Yeah, I think that's a false memory on your part there. I don't think that's what he ever said. So what the people,
how would that happen?
How would that work? Why would that happen? And what everyone, this is by the will of the people.
I'm gonna write that down though.
We're being Ukrained.
In 4 years, I'll look
that
to see. Yeah,
makes sense. Okay. Hey, we got a lot of your text messages. Let's see if we can. We'll get through some of these, and we'll take a break. This texter says here. What am I doing? Okay, it says. I welcome Amazon. The business community in the Bahamas has taken full advantage of the system. For instance, yesterday a friend and I put something in the cart at Amazon, and the price was $149.99. When entered into the system, it came up to $111. and 10 cents for fees, the estimated total of $261. We checked 2 companies in the Bahamas for the same item. One was $450 and the other was $475. So which one would you select for your pocketbook? Wow. That was the same product, you mean, if you bought it here, or are you talking about a courier? Which one are you talking about?
Oh, with the shipping, right.
Which one? Tell us which one you mean. Yeah, wow. I buy Lysol wipes and Lysol spray every month online and beat the local price by 50%.
I'm telling you.
Yikes. Okay. This person says here that Amazon deal will be great, except that they will probably bill the documentation fee for each item instead of each order. Ship items in huge boxes with tons of bubble wrap, and then DHL will tack on a huge processing fee.
Well, we'll see.
That's not according to what people were saying.
Yeah, we'll see.
I had to deal with them once for an item which was supposed to be shipped to me for free as a replacement, and they charged me fees for the full value of the item. I ended up paying more, but that was before
that would happen
deal,
though, right?
Yeah,
right. That would happen because you still you replaced it. It's coming back in. So, yeah.
Okay. So this texter says they know exactly which company I'm talking about. They're telling me to leave them. I didn't say a word. I don't know what you're hearing. And as for Duquesa, my courier delivers to my door.
See?
And my job, and on occasion meets me on the road.
Okay,
for free.
that's what I'm talking about.
Nice.
Send me that information, please.
Oh, nice. Wasn't that special? Can I order a car from Amazon? I do not think so. Maybe a toy car. Maybe a remote control car, perhaps. But no, not yet. And I guarantee you that would not be able to ship for free. If you could order a car. Although I hear that there is at least one car company talking with them.
About it? Oh, okay.
Having cars on Amazon. This doesn't make a difference to me because what I don't buy at home, I purchase when I travel, which is twice yearly, and usually claim my exemption. Well, how special.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
Reminds me of the people on YouTube who comment. Just no reason. But we appreciate you, text. Appreciate you. Why are these callers so concerned about taking money out of the government's hand? That's what I'm wondering.
Right.
What does that have to do with that?
Because they don't be
Government-
worrying about taking money out of
Certainly
my pocket.
not.
Okay.
Right?
Not for a minute. Which is why we have to look to see how we could keep money in our pocket.
I don't understand. Is this going to go? But anyway, where is the government's concern in attaching VAT and customs to the taxed price of an imported item? Exactly. Double VAT.
I'm telling you.
Double VAT. We are effectively paying tax on the tax we pay to another country.
Correct.
If I can find a way to legally reduce my bills, why wouldn't I explore that? Yes. And why would I be concerned about a government that is not terribly concerned about me? Indeed. I love this option. Okay, I hear you. You and I are on the same, and Duquesa are on the same wavelength. We're going to take this call. Yeah. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Yeah, good morning, guys. How you doing?
Doing well.
Good morning.
This is Dwight Duquesa.
Yeah,
yes,
it
it
is.
is.
My favorite girl. Laugh at me before he starts speaking.
She doesn't laugh on demand. Only when I tell.
That was so cute. That really was cute.
On a serious note, I can guarantee you, based on these suppliers in this country, watch and see if they don't tackle on something else when the government starts sitting down and talking with them, so they can tackle on something to discourage you from ordering because they could be losing.
Oh, boy.
Just like what they did with the car dealerships. Oh, you only can bring in cars for 10 years. How long people bringing in the old cars? They run them for years. You know what I mean? They always try to make an excuse to say why you can't bring in this car for them. They want you to spend expensive car, what they getting from Mexico, rather than getting the nice one from the U.S. You know what I mean? But watch and see. They can come with some other fee in there. They discourage you from ordering on the whole. Watch and see.
I hear you.
Thank you.
I hear you.
I'm actually hoping the opposite of that happens because I don't know if you remember when there was only one telecommunications company, the feed that you try to make a call to the U.S. or you in the U.S. and you need whatever. Even home, it was so expensive. And the minute competition came in, like fees dropped and everything became more, affordable, right? So competition is also a way of helping us to keep money in our pockets as well. So I'm hoping that this is something that retailers will now look at and say, how do I adjust?
Right.
What do I need to do to keep the money in my pocket?
Okay. Oh my goodness gracious! See, this person's trying to upset me. We're having
Don't
a
get
good morning.
upset.
A good morning here. This thing on a side note. These are some nice photos in the Nassau Guardian of the Duke of Windsor. Now, remember we were talking about blasts from the past in the paper today. But on this day in history last week, what now? Kamala Harris was unprecedentedly beaten by Donald Trump. I would love a Donald Trump administration in the Bahamas. I would vote for him. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, okay.
Texter, I don't know why you're trying to upset us. But okay. Tell Anton that's fake news. I don't think we ever heard him say that. And that would be nothing but a burden on the United States, I'm sure, to be responsible for this country. Good Lord.
Oh, but at least you may have city governance then. You may be able to have, I'm not laughing.
You want to take this call? Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Morning, Mr. Strong. Good morning, Digressor.
Hi, good morning.
You know, Mr. Strong, they should start teaching global agendas in universities and colleges, right? For me, there's no such thing as a Black Swan event, okay? Now, this year, this imposition by Amazon is a conglomerate. So even as in my ignorance, when I first heard the word globalization, I termed it globalization. Now, it doesn't matter to me what they do, right? But there are some disadvantages by ordering things online. I'm trying to order some stuff, and I can't distinguish, like, the product too clearly because the way how it looks and all of the staples look alike. But what I'm saying is that this process started during the pandemic. So this is how Amazon made billions of dollars during the pandemic, and everybody got satisfied with ordering things. But some people say they love capitalism and they love other isms. But here's what I'm telling you now. You said something very profound this morning that you might have realized it when you were talking about the government deliberately keeping the island sparsely populated, et cetera, and then conglomerates coming in and buying up the land. So what I want you guys to do, right? I don't know if you noticed in the report from Iron Mountain, they was talking about debt for nature swap from the 50s. And so I'm more concerned about debt for nature swap. And the people who don't understand it and don't want to read the Iron Mountain report on the radio for people to hear it. So I urge everyone to go and look at the report from Iron Mountain so that nothing can surprise them of what goes on in the global theatrics, right? Nothing surprises me. This land ownership is wealth. So, the thing is, when you own land, even as with the climate carbon credit agenda, land ownership is wealth. And so the colonial masters realized this and that. They realized this a long time ago. So these things doesn't confound me as to what Amazon is into, free this and free that. But they are.
I mean, why are you seeing it as a bad thing? I mean, the other stuff you're talking about is bad, but the free ship.
But what I'm saying is, it's enriching one people. It's a globalization process. That's what globalization really means. It's a disadvantage. Yeah.
Well, thank goodness you have options. If you want to spend more, you can do that.
That's the power of it.
Spend all your money
right.
if you want. For the others who want to save, you've got some choices. All right, we're going to pick this up on the other side of the break. This is Morning Blend Business on Guardian Radio 96.9. Stay with us.
I just wait for tips, but it's this wake me broken up my hip. I am but I got a thing to prove, but just the biggest box that I ever tried to move. She had the biggest box in the world I ever saw. Where all she got, who could ask for more?
This November, the Nassau Guardian is celebrating 180 years. And we want to thank you, our loyal readers, for helping to make this one of the oldest newspapers in the region. We want you to be a part of our Vision Challenge giveaway promotion, beginning October 28th through November 22nd. All you need to do is find the hidden Nassau Guardian 180 Years logo, printed every day in the Nassau Guardian newspaper, and you could win prize money. Just purchase your daily Nassau Guardian newspaper every day, beginning Monday, October 28th. Find the 180th Nassau Guardian logo, cut out the page, mark the spot, write your name and phone number on that clipping, drop off your entries at our offices on Carter Street in Oakesfield, and every Friday, November 1st, November 8th, November 15th, and November 22nd, one drawing will take place. It's that simple.
This holiday season, give the gift that lasts a lifetime.
Financial freedom with CFAL. Whether you're looking to take the stress out of holiday giving or plan for the future, CFAL has you covered. With our suite of savings products, you can start with a minimal upfront investment and low monthly contributions. Get a jump start with 2025 financial goals with CFAL Savings Express, or give the little ones a head start with the CFAL Education Plan. You can also secure your own future with the CFAL Blue Marlin Retirement Plan. This holiday season, make your gift count with CFAL, where small savings lead to brighter futures. Visit CFAL.com today to start building wealth so you can live well. Happy holidays from all of us at CFAL.
For fast, reliable, and impactful printing services, look no further. Let Printmasters bring your masterpiece to life. We stand by our quality products that is second to none. Our affordable pricing and friendly, efficient staff makes Printmasters the ultimate choice for all your printing needs. We can deliver any type of printing services, from banners to booklets to business cards. You name it, we can print it.
Let Printmasters bring your masterpiece to life.
Located in the Nassau Guardian Building, telephone 302-2361.
This message is proudly endorsed by the Minister of Economic Affairs, Senator the Honorable Michael B. Halkitis.
I'm proud to introduce the Made in the Bahamas certification, a mark of pride and quality. Join us on Thursday, November 14th at 5:30 p.m. for the BBSQ's National Town Hall meeting at the Holy Trinity Anglican Church Activity Center. This free 2-hour event is your chance to learn more about the Made in the Bahamas certification program and how it benefits us all.
Thanksgiving has arrived early at Montague Motors. This whole month is Black November with deep discounts on selected models. Roll out this season in style. Montague Motors, trusted quality service for over 20 years. Zero down, everyone. Village Road near Shirley, 698-3950, 812-7576. Call Montague Motors now and get the best discounts the entire month of November.
This year, Roberts Furniture and Omni Flash Cash are giving you cash in a flash. Receive up to $3,500 in financing from Omni and get cash discounts up to $500 from Roberts Furniture in just 3 easy steps. Choose your furniture, submit your documents, arrange your delivery. It's that simple. Put furniture in your house and up to $500 in your pocket, all within 72 hours. Omni Flash Cash and Roberts Furniture. Quality, comfort, style, and cashback discounts. Visit Roberts Furniture, 5th Terrace, Centerville for details. Phone 322-8862. Like us on Facebook.
It's easy to go the extra mile when you fill up with Esso Synergy Supreme Plus Fuel. It keeps your engine clean and running smoothly, which has to make every fill-up last longer. Choose Esso Synergy Supreme Plus Fuel today for better gas mileage and better performance. The Esso brand is a trademark of ExxonMobil Corporation and is used under license. Benefits are based on Synergy-branded gasoline compared to gasoline meeting minimum government detergency standards. Actual benefits may vary based on factors such as vehicle type, driving style, and gasoline previously used.
Have you already tried our President Butter? Ooh la la! Indulge a little with President, because now more than ever, we need to savor the taste, textures, and feelings to truly enjoy the little things that mean the most. President Butter, something to savor.
It is time for your morning business report, brought to you by CFAL. Island Power Producers Limited has chosen Inox India Limited to build a first-of-its-kind modular liquefied natural gas, or LNG, terminal that will store the LNG fuel that will eventually be used to provide power to the cruise port for cruise ships. Inox saying in a statement that the contract includes turnkey design, engineering, and supply of a mini LNG receiving and regasification terminal. The terminal will feed natural gas to IPP's 60-megawatt combined cycle power plant, being set to provide shore power to cruise ships at the Nassau Cruise Port. Read more about it in today's Guardian business section. The recently formed Bahamas Aircraft Owners and Pilots Association is concerned that the Ministry of Tourism, Investments and Aviation and Civil Aviation Authority Bahamas are implementing pilot testing standards that are not aligned with the local aviation industry or FAA testing systems. that they say has been the bedrock of local pilot testing. The association saying that it's voiced its concerns with the tourism minister, Chester Cooper, and Civil Aviation Bahamas. You can read about their concerns in the Nassau Guardian today. And Shadow Minister for Finance, Kwesi Thompson, lambasting the Davis government for continually expanding public debt, given that it has not had to spend money on responses to natural disasters or other such events. Thompson says the government policies have made the high cost of living in the country worse through its choice to increase value-added tax on breadbasket items and medicine. Overseas, U.S. stocks are drifting today as some momentum comes out of the torrid Trump trade that swept Wall Street following Donald Trump's presidential victory. The S&P 500 was 0.1% higher in early trading, coming off its latest all-time high. The Dow Jones Industrial Average was up 70 points, or 0.2%, as of 9:35 this morning, and the NASDAQ composite was virtually unchanged. Stocks have been broadly rising on expectations that Trump's preference for lower tax rates and other policies will mean faster economic growth, as well as bigger U.S. government debt and higher inflation. Some areas of the market have launched on particularly high-grade fuel, such as smaller U.S. stocks. They gave back some of their big gains on Tuesday, and the Russell 2000 index of smaller companies slipped 0.4%. Even Tesla, which is run by Trump's ally, Elon Musk, sank. It fell 2.4% and is on track for its first loss since before Election Day last week. In your Market Watch, recapping trading on the BISX from Monday, your market movers, Consolidated Water, closing at 514, up 12 cents. Emira Incorporated, up 3 cents, closing at 893. The BISX All-Share Index closing at 2,879.23, up 0.15. That's your Market Watch, and that is your morning business report brought to you by CFAL, growing wealth for future generations. Okay, we got less than a minute left to question. Just want to read these messages really quickly. This person says, yes, that's right. It is based on this is what determines whether it gets free shipping, whether the country code and Amazon's fulfillment direct shipping. Soon sellers who understand their customers will operate in both realms. Right. So, yeah, there's a lot of reasons why something would get the free shipping.
Right.
As opposed to another. Okay, this person says that there'll be no taking money out of the government's hands. Dream on. The government has set up the mysterious and yet to be explained JDL air freight arrangement to ensure that they can mysteriously charge anything they like on every item that arrives by air cargo. Well, yeah, maybe that explains why that was done. Yeah. What do you want to do? You have time? Really quickly, Aaron? Yes? Good. Let's take this call really quickly. Call, you got 15 seconds. Can you do it in 15?
Yes, good morning.
Hi.
Morning, guys. I think this initiative that Amazon has taken on is a great initiative because guess what? I think they have a bigger picture that they want to ensue. I think they want to bring a distribution center here in the Bahamas, which would be a great thing for Bahamas because it could bring more jobs. And then I think Walmart and the rest of those conglomerate companies will follow. So it's a great initiative for Bahamans. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Okay. Well, the consumers, definitely.
For the consumers, but the business
be for the businesses.
market would take a hit, definitely. So that's why they really have to jump on board and get creative now.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And treat the customers better.
Correct. And if you need customer service training.
Exactly.
Call your girl, Duguesa.
Exactly. Duguesa Dean, thank you so much for being here today.
Such a pleasure.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Great conversation, great time today. I'll see you next week. And I'll be back tomorrow morning with more Morning Blend and Morning Blend Business right here on Guardian Radio 96.9. Dwight Strachan, have a great day, everybody. Stay tuned for On the Clock with Aaron Green coming up next.
Guardian Radio, 96.9 FM, Nassau, Bahamas.